Today's guest has a story that will challenge the way you think about faith, fear, and God's timing. Born and raised in South Africa, she and her husband, Wesley, and their 2 little girls twice sold everything they owned to move to America, only to feel God say, "Not yet." Through devastating loss, extreme business success, violent crime, closed doors, and ultimately moving to Texas, they realized that God's delays are often His preparation. This is Dallas from Dallas. Open hearts, endless motivation. This is Dallas Podcast. Tash.
Yes.
So excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is going to be such a fun interview. You know, since I met you, I have just been so drawn to you because, first of all, your accent. I mean, the South African accent is beautiful, and you don't hear it a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about you. I mean, let's talk about your roots. Let's start with who you are and where you came from.
So, my full name is Nastasia. Everyone calls me Tash because back at home, nobody could ever say Nastasia. I don't think my parents have even called me Nastasia. They used to call me Natasha at school, and I hated that. And Tash came from that.
Oh.
So that's how we got to Tash.
Okay.
And I just think that's so now intertwined and woven into who my identity is, that it's just always been Tash. Like when people found out that my name is actually Nastasia, like when Wesley and I started dating, he was also like, he didn't know who invited him on Facebook.
Oh.
Because he thought my name was Natasha.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's Nastasia.
Okay. Nastasia.
Yeah, it's Russian.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And yeah, we were actually looking at meanings of the names the other day, and it means one who will rise again.
Oh, I
And
love that.
it's tied to resurrection. So I was like, oh, how fun is that?
Wow.
So that was super cool. We looked up all our names the other day. I was born and raised in South Africa. It was like South African through and through, like a true patriot, loved it. My mom and dad had many opportunities to leave and either move to Australia, New Zealand, or Canada. And I was always the advocate for, we're staying. And I actually wrote an essay in high school that was called "This Land is My Land."
Oh.
And it was so patriotic, like it won a prize.
Wow.
The teachers were like so set on fire by it. And I chose the subject. They gave us some titles and we got to choose it. And I tried to find a way we had to do like 700 words. And the only way I could get 700 words in my essay was to keep repeating, "This land is my land." And it just worked out that it became super patriotic and how I truly felt about the country.
Wow.
And, we were going to move twice before to the States. God said no. And I was so patriotic over everything that I was proudly South African. We even have stickers that say proudly South African. So super proudly South African. Now I'm Texan. And if people ask me, where you from? And we say Texas, they're like, no.
No, wait, hold on. No, I didn't say like, I understand you live here now.
Yeah.
But like, where are you from?
Yeah, 100%. That often happens.
Yeah.
So like, where you from? I'm like, Texas. And they're like, the South? I'm like, no, South Africa.
Yeah, South.
But we're from Texas now.
Okay, so South Africa. I mean, I've never been to South Africa. Give me like some of like the coolest things there. Like for somebody that was coming in, never been to South Africa, what would you tell someone to do?
I would absolutely tell everybody to go to the Drakensberg.
Okay.
The Drakensberg is a mountain range that's, in fact, Lord of the Rings is set in that landscape.
Really?
The writer, it has said, I mean, I don't know him, but it said that when he wrote the story of Lord of the Rings, he thought about the Drakensberg. The mountains are just exquisite. It is beautiful. They are wild. They're still super rural. Like some parts of them still don't have electricity. Like it's exquisite. Everybody wants to go to South Africa and go to Cape Town or go on safari.
Yes.
But I would tell you, take the journey out and go see the Drakensberg Mountains. It is phenomenal. If you're a hiker, it's the place to be. And the tallest waterfall in the world is in the Drakensberg.
Okay, so I've got to go there. I love nature and I love being outdoors and I love mountains. Now, these mountains, do they have any snow on them at all?
So the weather in the Drakensberg can change drastically. So you could go on a sunny hike and the next minute you could be caught in snow. So the weather does change severely there. They do get snow every winter. So just parts of them, not the whole mountain range because it is so big and vast. But there is snow and it is just exquisite. Like if we ever talk about going back to visits, like what do the kids want to do? We all want to go to the Drakensberg. Like if we talk about switching off and reconnecting, it's in the Drakensberg.
Okay.
Like that's where our family would go. So, some people are ocean people, some people are woods people. We are definitely mountain people.
I love the mountains.
So I would definitely say the Drakensberg, go on safari.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Cape Town is they say it's a first world city.
Yeah.
So go have a look at that just because it's cool.
Yeah.
But definitely the Drakensberg.
What about food? Like what is
Oh my gosh. So
must-haves?
Must-haves. So South Africans, we have something called biltong and dry horse.
Say that again.
Biltong, not biltong. Someone said bull tongue. I was like, no, not biltong, biltong.
Okay.
So the closest thing you guys have to it is called jerky, but it's not the same.
Okay.
Like you will offend us.
Oh, offend you. Okay.
It's not the same. They are made in two different ways.
Okay.
But the closest thing I could tell you that it is beef sticks and jerky.
Okay.
But ours is very different and unique. We've in fact started making our own. Like if you are South African and if you're a South African listening, you are definitely now thinking about biltong and dry horse and craving it.
Okay.
So definitely that would be the first. You guys have barbecue.
Yeah.
It's not the same as braaiing. Braaiing is what we do when we put meat on an open fire.
Okay.
And that is something so South African. Like we even have National Braai Day. And the closest thing I can compare it to is like barbecuing. You guys barbecue hot dogs. We would never put a hot dog on a fire.
Really?
So yeah. So those two definitely like braaiing at home with friends and then like biltong and dry horse when the rugby's on or something. So definitely that. And then there's like restaurants. Like I believe steak in South Africa is much better than in Texas, which you never say.
Yeah,
when I was
that's like not heard of because
right?
Texas is known for their steaks, right?
So that was the first thing everyone asked when I got home. They were like, "Isn't the steak good?" There, I'm like, "Yeah, it's good, but it's not South African good." I'm like, what we need to do is we need to start exporting Drakensberg grass to the States and feeding their cows Drakensberg grass, and their meat will taste like ours.
Okay, I can actually go with you there. Like I don't know Drakensberg, but I can understand because it is like what you are eating is what the cow
exactly.
So the process of what they are fed and the quality would make sense, And a lot of steaks here are definitely like, unfortunately, depending upon which steakhouse you go to, the quality may not be super good.
Exactly. So we've been hunting steakhouses.
Yeah, I'm a huge. There's a lot of good ones here, but again, I can't compare to South Africa, but I do have a few of like my favorite, like Bob's. I love Bob's.
Okay, yeah, your husband told us about Bob's when we met him.
Yes.
So we went to Bob's, we gave Bob's a try. What we do differently to our steak is we put sauces on them.
Okay.
And like, it's not a basting, but it's like a mushroom sauce or a cheese sauce or like a black pepper sauce.
They have that here. I don't know if it's the same, but they do have like, you can get them like,
I need to go
Oscar
find these places
style.
in.
There's Oscar style.
Yes.
There's different styles you can do, but I think it has to do with like the quality of maybe the grass, like you said. It's like what they're being fed, the cows, 100%. Which will definitely impact, the meat.
100%.
I mean, for sure. Okay, so you grow up in South Africa, love your child, obviously wrote a paper about it. I mean, that's how much you loved South Africa. But then things started to change.
Yeah.
Well, at what point did you start to kind of question, is this really where I want to be?
So it was probably the beginning of 2024 for real was the first time I questioned it. In 2021 was the first time I got to travel the world, and we've traveled to a good few places by now. And in 2024, my heart was, we went to Dubai again. We'd set up our business over there, and my husband had to go set up his residency that side. And we spent about 3 weeks to a month there. And when I came home, I say it this way, my brain had clocked out of South Africa. Like at this point, we traveled all over the world, and I was still happy to be South African. But truly in my heart, in the beginning of 2024, when we came back from Dubai, my brain had clocked out, and I was ready to leave. And when I was ready to leave, I was ready to leave and go to Dubai, not Texas, of all places. So that here we are.
Yeah, here you are.
So yeah, Wes always was all for Texas. I was for Dubai. I like the glitz and the glam and how everything is just so beautiful over there.
Yeah.
So in 2024 was the first time, but we'd looked at sort of leaving the country a couple of times. And the first time it started it was probably about 2019 or 2020, somewhere there. Wesley had visited the States to come look at businesses over here, and he brought back $100 notes. And we had made this board in the office, which we started like using as a little bit of a vision board. And we had glued or stuck this $100 note down on a piece of paper. And we said, we want to be multi-million US dollar heirs. That was the goal. And we had stuck it up on the board in the office that we could see it. And one day my grandfather like moseyed up the stairs to the office, and he looks at it and he shook his head. He's like, how are you going to make dollars sitting in South Africa? And we were like, fundamental flaw in the plan. He's quite right. Like, yes. This is something we should probably consider. And I know Wesley all along has been wanting to be here in the States. Like, it's been on his heart for the longest times. And he is the captain of our ship. So I do trust him. Sometimes I question him secretly, or sometimes not so secretly. Yeah. But definitely he was like, this is the place he feels we need to be. And after being here, he feels in his heart that this is where we need to be.
Yeah.
So in 2020, he came back and he decided, like, that's it. We're going to pack up and we're going to go. And at that point, we were making money. We were doing really well. We had 2 businesses at that stage. We had 1 failed business as well, but we had 2 businesses operating, and we were going to do this. The girls were really little, so we started selling cars and furniture, and the things we were going to move over here with us were the kids' toys. Because they were so little, those are the things we felt that they associated with home was their space.
Okay.
So everything else we believed we could replace, except a few obviously sentimental things, but mostly their toys and the things that made their space home. So we had sold our cars. We had sold furniture. We were eventually living in like this huge 7-bedroom home, and it was echoing. And lockdown came.
Oh, gosh. So this is right before COVID.
Just before COVID. This all started in February. And on the 15th of March, South Africa locked down. And the lockdown in South Africa is where things really started becoming Jumanji. So things started becoming really extreme there. Like, we weren't allowed to purchase alcohol. We weren't allowed to purchase cigarettes. We weren't allowed to travel. I mean, I remember going to the doctor during the lockdown. Wes and I were sitting in the front of the car next to each other, and the cops pulled us over and they made me climb to the back because I wasn't allowed to sit next to him. He still argued with the policeman and he said, I sleep next to her at night. And he said, doesn't matter. The rules say we're not allowed to sit next to each other.
Wait, hold on. Y'all are married?
Yeah.
And you guys couldn't be in the same car together?
We could, but I had to sit in the back and we had to drive with masks on.
And what rationale is that normal?
We don't know. That's why I said it got pretty Jumanji out there.
That is 100%.
and like not the rock Jumanji, the original Jumanji.
Yes.
So things started going really different there. So lockdown came. We were super blessed to be stuck in the house we were stuck in. Our home was beautiful. We were on the river out in a sort of a rural side of Johannesburg. It was really beautiful. We were super blessed there. We could hire the kids bounce houses, and I could exercise around the yard. I could run 16 kilometers around the yard. We had a gym we could use. Like, even though the house was empty, it was full, and we were super blessed that we could have all the space we were, where other people were stuck in smaller places.
Well, so that was a blessing, because this is like at the time where, you were selling stuff because you guys were thinking you're going to leave. Yeah. And so you hadn't gotten rid of everything, but you had gotten rid of a lot of things.
A lot of things. Like, we'd sold furniture. We were
downsizing.
We were going, yeah.
And yet God, like, again, like, I think it's so cool. God was like, hold it. You're gonna need this space. Like, you hadn't even moved out of your home, which is great.
Yes.
Because if you had moved out of your home and like even maybe rationale, I could sell my house right now and get in a smaller space, but you were protected in that.
And the house was on the market at that stage, but we didn't think it would sell fast because of the price we were asking. So it was not for sale. Well, for sale, but not for sale because it seemed like it was out of reach. And we got stuck there during lockdown, and things started going online. Work started going online, meetings started going online, and that just changed things. So I think into our like a 3rd month of lockdown, my mom-in-law got stuck with us, and she was like, maybe we should start buying some things again, or unpacking the boxes you'd packed that the house can lose the echo.
Yeah.
So that was the first time we tried to leave. That was also still a super beautiful year because that's the year I got my first, or was it? No. I got a qualification that year too, at the end of the year. And because of what COVID had done to the university situation, we got to do something called a fast track degree. So everything was online. We were the guinea pigs, and we got to do this. It's an NQF level 7, and we got to do it in 6 weeks online. But the work was just as hard.
Yeah.
And we had to push.
Yeah, you couldn't sleep. You were basically like on all the times.
Wes felt like he was a single dad.
Yes.
Like I was going to sleep thinking about papers and assignments because we had to get them in. So we did that. And in that time, Wes also went on a journey to pretty much self-discover himself and become the man he is today. He's always been, God's been shaping him all along. But he really started walking this journey in getting to know himself better and becoming the man he wants to be.
Okay.
And it was in that house, our youngest daughter, Memphis, asked him, like, Daddy, she asked him a question about God. I can't even remember what it is at this stage, but she asked him a question about God that he couldn't answer. And daddies are supposed to know the answer. And that's why he started looking into who God is.
Yeah.
And that's where his journey really, really started.
Was it that year?
It was that year. And in that time during COVID, our business thrived, like tenfold. We were super blessed. Business grew.
One of the only businesses.
One of the only businesses. Other businesses were closing down. Other businesses were struggling. Ours wasn't.
Well, you guys, so to give like a perspective, because you were, what kind of business did you have? And like, was it better being online? Obviously it was a better thing for you guys than for even being was it in person or was it always online?
Well, it was always in person because we're advisors and consultants. So you were always on the road meeting people. And obviously you were limited to maybe 4 or 5 meetings a day because of the time and the distance you had to travel between the meetings. Right. So when COVID happened, advising and consulting became a whole different board game. Right. Because now you could cram meetings in. There was very little chit chat, unfortunately, like, that bonding side of meetings and that. But meetings were, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing. Okay, on to the next. Right. So business grew. We're in compliance. So with being in compliance, a lot of companies, to get grants and benefits out of the COVID sort of situation, they had to have certain compliances involved. And obviously a lot of people were being cut as suppliers, but we weren't, because people needed us to guide them through the compliance process so they could get these grants and these benefits. So our business grew, and we decided in that time, oh, wow, we're making money now. Now we're going to stay. Like, we're finally there. The goal's there. That $100 bill's still up there. We can make enough millions to convert into dollars. Yes. So we're going to stay.
Wow.
So
this was the year that you got the certification. So you were a chief operating.
Yeah, I'm a chief compliance officer for Be Efficient. So that space is super unique to South Africa. It's part of their broad black economic empowerment based sort of legislation. Like, again, super unique to South Africa. It's legislation that was written to right the wrongs of the past, being the apartheid, and give everybody an equal playing field. Okay. So that's where we consult, although it's grown from just that. We now consult on ISO, we consult on ESG, corporate governance, anything compliance related, we can take care of now. We've, it started as BEE and it just shaped over the years to all types of compliance. And it was just local compliance, and it's grown to international compliance. Most of our clients are multinationals and corporates. So we've just been super blessed, like always prayed for the right customers, the right employees, the right mentors. So we've been super blessed that way. And it just, the need for us was there, which was great.
Okay, so 2020, you decide to take your mother-in-law's advice and get some furniture back in the house. Yes. You are working, you're being blessed because, like, not only did, God give Wesley the opportunity to kind of figure out, because of Memphis's prompting, which she doesn't even realize, like, that was probably the best question she could have asked her daddy. And because it made him pursue who God is and the relationship he has now. But you guys stay there. It's obviously not the right time for you to move. Yeah. When is the second time that you guys decide?
So the second time was in 2023. Like I said, we traveled all over. In 2023, Wesley had said he wants to come to the States. And he feels like if he brings me to the States, because I was like always, I don't want to go to America. I don't want to go to America.
Why?
And I'm like, I don't know. We obviously grew up watching American TV.
Yeah.
And
what was the shows that you liked when you were a kid?
oh my goodness. Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, I'm on the spot now. I can't even think. Like Friends we grew
Will and
up
Grace.
with. Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, I love Saved by the Bell.
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
So we watched a lot of American TV. And the opinion of Americans outside of America is Americans are arrogant. Americans are loud.
Yep.
You know, I was like, why do we want to be there? I don't want that. I want to go to Dubai. I want to be a princess in Dubai. I want to be Jasmine. So never thought I could be, but after I was there, I wanted to be Jasmine.
Okay.
I knew that. So he was like, if he can get us to the States, to Texas, because that's like, he loves Texas.
Yeah. So why Texas?
Well, when he came out here the first time, he said the smell. He was like, the smell was Texas. He's like, you know, he associates a lot of things with smell.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was like, the smell was just, it was the right smell. Yeah. And he wanted to be here. He loved dealing with the American people. He was like, if you are in America and not making money somehow, he's like, maybe there's something wrong with you. He's like, because it is the land of the free. It is the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
He's like, it is everything people believe it is. It is that amazing. It's like, it's clean, it's beautiful, it works.
Yeah. And I think it's a perspective. I think that, I love hearing that because like, I think that Americans like that are born and raised here take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's easy to do, right? Like when you are accustomed to the things that we have, you don't look at it like
you just think it's another day.
It's just another day, or that a lot of I think a lot of people will associate. Well, it didn't work out for me. I didn't get to where I wanted to be because like more of like a victim personality, whereas like your husband like came here and was like, oh my gosh, like this is the real deal, like this is the United States, this is the home of the free, and there is possibility, and you just have to go out and run for it.
100%. And he just came back so motivated. He was like, the American people are great, they open up their houses to you, they're open to business. He was here to just check things out, and he got to do all these meetings that he didn't plan to be a part of, and he was Texan in his heart then already. If you ask him now, he is Texan with an accent, but he's Texan in his heart.
Is there anything like Texas in South Africa? Like, was there a draw there that made him?
So South Africa has a huge farming community and an Afrikaans community. So Afrikaans people, they are white people, but they speak Afrikaans. So like, I'm a white person, but my first language is English.
Okay.
So there are other white people in South Africa who speak Afrikaans.
Okay.
So those would be the two predominant white races.
What is Afrikaans? What is that?
So it's a mix of Dutch. It sounds a lot like Dutch.
Okay.
So, but after South Africa was colonized by the Dutch and then the British later on, they developed Afrikaans.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things people say in Dutch that we can understand. My husband can understand Dutch because it sounds like a higher level sort of version of Afrikaans.
Okay.
So the Afrikaans guys are predominantly farmers.
Okay.
And the first time I went to go see the rodeo when I was here in 2023, the most patriotic moment I have ever participated in. Like, I don't know how you cannot go to the rodeo, even if you are American, and not cry. When that girl is on that horse with that flag, and she is riding that horse around in circles, and I'm not even sure what that song is.
Yeah.
But you feel it in your heart. There's goosebumps. Like, the rodeo was like the most amazing wow thing. And after watching the rodeo, I said to Wesley, I'm like, what's wrong with the Afrikaans people at home? Why are they live on the farms. Why are they not riding bulls? They're crazy enough to.
Yeah.
I was like, we need some rodeo in South Africa. So Texas is a lot like South Africa that I would remember when I was a child.
Okay.
Like when it was a lot more open, a lot safer.
Neighbors
were neighbors.
Let's talk about that for a minute. I think it's important that we're going to talk about South Africa and what it is today, but let's go back to your childhood.
Yeah.
because I don't feel like we got a whole big glimpse of your childhood. And I think it's important because you had a lot of amazing things in your childhood, but also some tragic things that happened. So let's start with your early childhood, your favorite memories.
So I've been super blessed as a child. My parents loved to travel, and I have got to see South Africa from the north to the south, the west to the east. My parents had a caravan, which you guys would call like a camper. And as often as they possibly could, we went and saw everything. It afforded us the opportunity to do a lot of off the beaten track things, see a lot of cool things. That was like the most amazing part. Like, I can tell you things about South Africa that a lot of people haven't. Like, in my heart, I don't know how people haven't seen more of South Africa because of how beautiful the landscape is.
Yeah.
Like, loved history, loved war museums. There was the Anglo-Boer War. There was the war against the Zulus there. We were like such rich in culture. Like, being able to participate in so much of the natural beauty, the historic beauty, and the cities and the towns.
Yeah.
So my dad used to have this book that used to have all these like camping places in. And he used to go through that, and then my mom would phone up a place, and that's where we'd go. And
so kind of like national parks here. Would it be
sort of like
associated?
national parks?
Okay.
There are lots of national parks in South Africa, but just random places. Like, that's one thing I find is not here, is sort of that.
Camping.
The camping.
Yep.
Or maybe I haven't found it yet. Who knows?
There is camping here. Yes. Yes. We'll have to talk about that later.
We'll have to find some place.
Yes.
So we did that. Super, super blessed. School was great. Had a super tight family and everything.
Did your faith start there?
Yes, absolutely. So my mom and dad were big Christians, absolute big Christians, grew up in church, grew up in worship. I think when I was a kid, I loved Carmen. So Carmen, yes.
What's that?
He is a Christian singer. I believe he is American Italian.
Okay.
You'd have to go Google him. I don't think he ever had a last name, but his name was Carmen. And I used to love his music. And both sets of my grandparents were also Christians, so we grew up in the church. We grew up going to church on Sundays. My mom and dad were cell leaders in the church and everything. So definitely, like, we were there.
Yeah.
I remember I said to Wesley the other day, I remember being in church and learning to worship and everything, but in the morning when my mom used to drive us to school, she used to pray. And she used to pray for my husband.
I love that.
And it was, I don't know where we were. We must have been in church. I think we were back in church in South Africa. And the pastor was speaking on marriage. And I was like, oh my goodness, the man sitting next to me is everything my mom prayed for.
Wow. And the power of prayer. I mean,
wow.
It is 100% the most powerful thing you can do for another person.
Exactly. And I don't have a relationship with my dad. My mom was murdered in South Africa. So that is now 11 years ago. She was on the family farm, and she left to go draw wages to pay the staff. And she was followed from the bank, and she was hijacked in her driveway. She never made it in. She was hijacked in the driveway, and she was unfortunately shot in the head. It's super graphic. Facebook knew about it before I did.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So my cousin worked for us at that stage, and she had picked up Facebook, and she was like, a lady in Jackson Street has been shot in the face in a hijacking and has passed away. And I still said to her, like, Rox, let's not talk about negative things. And I had still bent down under my desk and grabbed my phone and looked at the message from my gran, where my gran said, your mom's just been in a hijacking and been shot. And I remember just phoning my gran and screaming at her, like, she just lost her daughter, and I'm shouting at her. So that was a pivotal moment in my life, because I didn't have a relationship with them at that stage. But, it's still my mom.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I so sorry. I mean, all of that's so awful. But this is like, is this like a normal thing that happens?
Yes, that's why, like, a lot of people are like shocked by it. But in South Africa today, sometimes it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Because your mom, was it like a really rough area, or is this?
No, this was in like suburbia. So like safe area, safe everything. But every Thursday she went to the bank and drew wages.
So somebody had to have fallen?
We believe that. And she would then go home and count no. The police, I know little to nothing about the process. No one's ever spoken to me about it. the most I ever got from it is the lady across the road was home at the time, and when she heard the gunshot, she went to the window and she saw the whole thing unfold. And I unfortunately asked how it went, and she explained the story to me in detail. And at this stage, I wish I never did that. Because, you can't unhear things and you can't unsee things. That was something I wish I had never heard.
Yes.
And my biggest feeling of that is, was she scared?
Yeah.
Like, what was going through her mind when he walked up to the car and pointed the gun? Was she scared? And then with him, was it the first time that you've killed somebody? Like, that bothered me for a long time. Was my mom your first?
Yeah.
Was she your 100th? Was she your 10th? Like, how did you just do that in cold blood? Get back in your car. He didn't even take anything. The paramedics had to break her out the car.
Hold on. He didn't even take anything?
He didn't even take anything. Her laptop was still in the car. The money was still in the car. He just shot her. She was a fighter, so she did try to fight for her life, from what I understand, and try to get away. And that's obviously when things went wrong. I imagine she had some choice words too, because like I said, she's a feisty lady.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was...
That is awful, and I'm so sorry.
Like I said, it's
part of what happens there.
It's part of what happens there. And my mom should not have been drawing the wages. Like, they should have found another way to pay the staff. And I think that had been a discussion within our family, with my grandparents. My mom worked with her brother. And that had been a discussion for the longest time, is that she should not be the one drawing wages.
Wow.
So it put her in that position all along. So
this happened 11 years ago.
11 years ago. It was the 9th of July. 11 years ago would be what? 2015?
Yeah. 2015.
Somewhere there?
Yeah. Because Faith is going to be 11.
Yeah.
Yep, 2015.
2015 on the 9th of July. I know, because it had just happened after LJ's first birthday. So that's the only reason I can remember those dates. Other than that, I particularly don't remember much in terms of dates. But
so how did that impact you? I mean, obviously
there was like a lot of regret, because I didn't have a relationship with my parents at the time. Mm-hmm. So there was that we didn't get to say goodbye. Did we end on bad terms? But not so much that. I think the thing that impacted me the most was my mom's funeral. So the funeral was a difficult place to be, not having a relationship with my family at that time. And then there were so many people there. That was overwhelming.
Yeah.
But then having so many people there, and the only thing that was said about my mom was that she was a good woman and a good wife and a good mother. And that was the extent of her stories and her travels around South Africa, because she'd never left the country other than our bordering countries like Namibia, Botswana, Mozambique, and Lesotho, and sort of those places. And those were the things that were said about my mom. So while they were all nice things, I mean, at funeral, people always say nice things.
Yeah.
But it did bother me that that's all that was said. That, I'm not for being an independent woman, but I'm for being a strong woman.
Yeah.
And after that, there was months that went. Yeah. There were months that went past, and I said to Wesley, I don't want to die just a wife and a mother. Like, I want to be more. Like, I love being your wife, but I want to be more. Like, when I die, I want the church to be full. Like, and not out of a vanity space. Like, I want to die, and I want to have touched so many people's lives that there's no place for them to sit.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to be a for real thing for me.
Yeah.
And my one best friend who lives in Australia, we have this thing where if she does, I'll say nice things about her, and she has to say nice things about me.
That's the deal.
Even if we're the only ones, we're going to say nice things about each other.
Yes.
So I wanted more than that. And at this stage, like, I had a lot of friends, really, really good friends, but like, I wasn't better than I was. And I complained to Wesley the one day, and I cried to him. I was like, all my friends want to be housewives and mothers. Like, they all know where to shop at Toys R Us and what's for sale. Like, I want more than that. And he said to me, I think you need new friends. And like, we were driving in the car home after we dropped the kids off at school when he said that. And he's so logical. Like,
that's a logical statement.
Us girls can be such drama queens. And he was like, well, it sounds like you need new friends. Like, thanks.
Thanks for that advice.
Thanks.
That's. I mean, I do understand what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like you could maybe be a little softer, maybe.
Exactly, but when it hits, it was exactly just that, and I was like, okay, I need to cast my net far and wide, and at that stage, Wesley used to race enduro bike, which is one of the most beautiful things we've done in South Africa.
Now, what is that exactly?
So enduro bike is like a dirt bike.
Okay.
Where I call it hiking with a motorbike, because they climb mountains on motorbikes. And if things you wanted to Google or YouTube, you could go see is like Romaniacs, Roof of Africa, stuff like that. Like Manny Lettenbigler is my favorite enduro rider. So these guys are insane. When I say they have balls of steel, these guys are brave. Like when Wesley used to be recorded and he would land up on TV, I'd be like, oh, I can't believe you were doing that on the side of a mountain on a motorbike. You could have died.
Yeah.
So that was something.
You have to be fearless.
Like, yeah. And I mean, you're pretty much hiking with a motorbike. You're dragging your bike up there. You're fighting that machine. You're fighting the mountain. You're fighting the endurance, the heat, the elements. You've got all of the safety gear on, which is not helping you cool down. They've got to self-navigate. So that's a challenge on its own. Like if you don't know how to read a map.
Wow.
So super, super adventurous. Like Memphis's first weekend out of the hospital, she spent in a cooler because we took her to the racing and the bikes were so loud that when the bikes would come past, we'd close the cooler lid quickly and then lift it back up.
Yeah.
And that's how my kids grew up for the first 6 years of their lives.
Wow.
Was around the mountains.
Yeah.
In coolers.
So he's adventurous. Super adventurous guy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So he had made a friend called Oz, and Oz had a wife who we had used to do some of our HR work at that stage. And her and I hit it off, like, love Debbie. Her and I hit it off. And the one day she was like, do you want to go on a trail run with me? And I was like, okay. Like, I want new friends. Like, she phoned me and asked me, do I want to go on a run? This seems to be like God's listening.
Yeah.
And I went on one trail run with her and I died. And a little while later again, she invited me on another trail run. She's like, what we did was not really trail running. We're going to go to the mountains now and we're going to go there. And she took me up this hill, which I named Nemesis because it was my nemesis.
Uh-huh.
And it must have taken me an hour and a half to get up there. And I think by the time I got up there, I maybe hated her just like
a little bit.
Yeah. And like she got up there with the greatest of ease.
Yeah, she was like smiling. What are you doing?
And she's so competitive on top of it. Like she always wants what's best for you, but she's still going to beat you.
Yeah,
she's so great.
Yeah.
And I was addicted after that. And then her and her husband used to do this thing called a sky run. And at this sky run, she phoned me and she was like, would you want to do it? She's like, but let me level with you about it. Like, you need 100% support from your family because you're going to need to spend a lot of time training. You're not trying to reach kilometers now. You're trying to reach time on your feet when you train because we're going to run 65 kilometers in the mountain. You need to eat right. You need to train. Your family needs to support you. And when we get out there, there's no electricity, seldom running water. You have to self-navigate yourself and self-sustain yourself on this race. So are you up for doing it?
Wow, this sounds like a precursor to your life and the direction that it went after this.
Absolutely. And I think for me, that's where things started changing. That's where like I've always trusted God. Like I've always known he's got this. Like no matter how bad I mess up or take a wrong turn, he'll fix it.
Yes.
Like somewhere along the line, that crossroad will come again and there will be a turnaround.
Yep.
I've always trusted him for that. Like a lot of people have asked me, like, how can you just do that? How can you guys just do this? I'm like, well, I just trust God. Like, we're going and it's going to happen.
Yep.
Like, we're not going to fail. I don't believe I'll fail. I don't believe we'll fail.
No.
Like, he's got this.
Absolutely.
So that, like,
because I mean, what is failure? Failure is quitting.
100%.
I mean, truly, that's what failure is. It's not like you are going to have bumps and bruises. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have all of it. But like, what makes you fail is if you quit.
100% is when you say, I've had enough and you give up.
Yep.
And I got to do this trail running thing and there was a lot of training needed. I mean, this was before COVID even. This started in like 2019. And I would run around my yard because I wasn't managing with two little kids to get out, run on the road, get to the mountains without having to help with dinner, help my husband run a business, safety.
I mean, it's not like I just want to give perspective. I'm sorry, but like for you to just go run and get to the mountains, like you'd have to have a patrol car with you to.
So yes, so in South Africa, it is super dangerous. There are safe places that you can go run in that. But to run out on the road is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like anything can happen to you. So it's not something a woman should do by herself.
Right.
I think you'll see very few women in South Africa. They are the ones that do it, but very few women in South Africa that will run on the road by themselves. So we didn't do that. And I found the compromise that I could work in is, because we're so blessed in the property we were staying, I could run in circles around the yard. I would leave certain doors unlocked, and I could run through the house on certain laps and check the food, check on the kids, check on Wesley.
Wow.
And that's what I was doing. And my neighbors actually thought I was crazy.
I'm sure they were like, what is, she's lost her marbles.
Up until COVID came, then everybody was running around their own yards. So
yes,
it was
there was validation that
there
happened.
was. When I saw everyone else running around their yards, I was at the point where I was like, you see, it's worth something.
Yes.
And that's how I started running. And I didn't get to do the 65K the first year. I had injured my leg, well, my groin specifically, and I'd walked with a limp for probably about 6 months. And I was also making peace with the fact that maybe this was going to be me going forward, was this limp. Like Wesley and his friends were calling me Limp Biscuits because of the way I walked. And like they would joke, like when I'm going slow, I've got this bad limp eventually. It becomes like a hobble the faster I go. But I was still going for it. I was still trying. And I hurt my groin on one of the best runs I've ever had in my life in the mountains. I had my earphones in and I was running and I was happy and I was just enjoying being out in the nature. And it was just beautiful. And I was running with one of my other friends. And when I got home, when I cooled down, like my groin was
inflamed.
Yeah, it had taken a beating. So I still wanted to sky run. And Debbie said, okay, instead of doing the 65K, why don't we do the 38K? She's like, it's shorter, the route is closer, and let's give that a go. And that year I done the 38K. And it was such a big difference. Like Wesley had raced all along and I'd been in the pits supporting him and waiting, you know, and like I'd never done anything as hard as he did. Like, and we often like disagreed on how hard it was for him. And I would always be like, do this. He's like, I am doing this, but it's hard. You don't know how hard it is because you've never endured. Like
right.
I'm enduring out here. So I was like, okay, if I want to understand what he's going through, I should endure a little. And out I went. And I did this, and Debbie ran away from me. She was just faster. And at the end of the day, it's everybody's race for themselves.
Absolutely.
So I'd never expected her to run with me. So we were each there to do our own race.
Yeah.
So I started running a little while on the mountain. I found a guy who was running the 100K. So the 100K meets up with 38K at some point, and they run to the finish together. And this guy was having a really tough time. He was falling all over. The altitude also does affect you out there. So, you know, I did check on him. Like that's really like a sky runner. Yeah. We all check on each other. We're all like brothers in arms out here. Like we're comrades. And we were out there and he was suffering and checked on him. And a little while later, I moved on. And a little while later, he'd come past me again. And a little while later, I caught up to him again and he was suffering. And we got to a checkpoint and they were going to end his race for him. And he actually started getting sick. And they were like, do you know this guy? I was like, no, I don't know him. I've just been running with him for a little while. And they're like, okay, we think we're going to end his race. I was like, well, that's not up to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go. And when I started running again, he caught up to me. He said he got sick and he's now good to go. He's going to run. And I was still super enthusiastic. We always joke that my inner spirit is Princess Poppy from the Trolls because I'm so fun and nothing can get me down.
Yes.
So I still had Princess Poppy as my alter ego running at this stage. We got to another checkpoint called the Hut. This is really something so crazy in my mind to describe. This is really where the 100K guys are suffering. So this is a point where they can get fed and they can just recharge for a little bit. But you walk into the hut, there's an old lady giving out some soup and soda and stuff like that. And there's just guys like standing up sleeping, laying down sleeping. It looks like war. It looks like casualties of war laying there. And this other guy I was with, he'd sat down there and I was like, okay, well, you're good now with everybody else, but I need to go. Like, I have to finish my race. Like, I want to finish my race. Yeah. I want to hear that I'm a sky runner when I cross that line. Because for my whole year of training, there's this video on YouTube of this guy calling people across the line. And then he tells you, you are a sky runner.
So that's what you were visualizing.
That was what I was visualizing, was being told I'm a sky runner by that man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a sky runner until it comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And his name was Rasbackie, which means loudmouth in English. So that's what they used to call him. He was the MC of the event. And out on the sky run, then I was like, okay, I'm going. See you later, I'm going. And a British guy who lives in South Africa was like, I want what you got. I'm going to go with you. He's like, your energy is like there. I need it. Like, let's go. And him and I started running, and the guy I had picked up, his name was Mace, which means mouse, which was his nickname. And while we were running, I asked him, like, what do you do for work? And he had said to me, I have a company that gets paid to water plants in offices. And I was like, oh.
Order plants in offices.
Water plants, yeah. In offices, I was like, that's very interesting. Okay. A little while later, while we were running, he was like, I lied to you. He's like, I'm an accountant. I was like, wow, that's the least beige personality thing an accountant has said to me.
Yes, right.
So he was like, I was just interesting. I was like, that's cool. And we started running. The race is self-navigated, so you've got to really take your own food, your own water, and it's real David Goggins stuff. So we had to then make our way to the finish line, and I don't know how far into the race I was, but the altitude and the fatigue started getting to me, and I started vomiting. And this British guy said to me, like, I don't even know his name. Like, I'll never know these guys or have a relationship with these people, but they were my family on the mountain.
There's angels among us. I think that God uses everyday people sometimes to pick us up in moments like this.
100%. And I got sick, and I was like, okay, let's go. He's like, no, you're not done yet. I'm like, no, I'm done. He's like, no, you're not done yet. And just as he said that, there was more. He's like, see, I told you. And after that, I was feeling a little bit better, and a little bit further we went, I laid down as well. And like, really, this was me in my mind, like, giving up. I'd said to the two guys, I was like, my husband will be the guy down there at the bottom in the bright orange KTM jacket. You tell him that I'm going to sleep here now. And when the sun comes up, because we're running in the dark, when the sun comes up, I'll make my way down the mountain. I won't have made the cutoff, but I'll make my way down the mountain then when the sun comes up. And I just went and lay down in the grass. And a little while later, I like lifted my head, and like in two little holes in front of me, these two guys were sitting waiting. Now, at the same time, these guys are also trying to race to a cutoff, because after a certain time, they don't qualify to finish. They actually get cut from the race.
Wow.
And I looked up, and they're sitting there. I'm like, why are you sitting here? Like, you guys need to go. Your clock is ticking. And they're like, no, you picked us up when we needed it, so we're waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh no. Okay, now I have to. Now there's people counting on me.
Yeah.
And made our way down the hairiest cliff I have ever been on. My knees were shot after that. I didn't think it could happen. And the whole way down, like, it's so rural. The night sky is so dark, and the stars are so visible. It's beautiful. But because you're running with a headlamp on, the people at the finish line can see the lights coming down the mountain. And now you've got Rasbackie, who's like calling us down the mountain. He's directing us because he can see us. He's still very far away, but he can see the lights, and we can hear him through the speakers. And he's calling me an O. An O is a man. I'm like, I'm a girl, not an O. I'm a girl. I'm coming down the mountain. And it was just so reassuring to get closer and closer and closer. And when I got there, he said to me, I didn't get to hug him. I was so disappointed that I didn't get a hug. But he called us across the line, and he said, you are a sky runner. I got my medal. A lady put my medal over my neck. I got my T-shirt, and I saw my husband, and I just started crying. And Debbie was there, and Oz, I don't think Oz was there. No, he didn't make it. He was still in on the 100Ks. And Debbie was there, and Wes was there, and that was me. I cried. Like, we call it the cry run, because you're definitely going to cry while you're out there. And I'm like, praying, you don't have a quota to meet. You should talk to God every day. Yeah. But if you have not spoken to God for a year and you go sky run, you will make your quota up in those 20 hours that you're running, because you're going to do a lot of talking to the man upstairs.
Yes.
So that was like the thing that saved me the most. Like, I think Wesley also expected me to quit at some stage, because he knew how tough endurance was. And after that, I was an absolute addict. Like,
So I mean, first of all, I just want to recap the fact that how God uses people. And I mean, it makes me like emotional just because I see like in your journey in this run how you were there to lift other people up, and then those same two men that you had lifted up now are, you know, lifting you up and saying, hey, I'm not leaving you behind. You know, like that you're doing it with me. And what that did for you. Like it wasn't just about the run.
No, it was really about the camaraderie, like people, you know.
And what you could do. I think it's like, it's not just about the run. It's not just about the people, but it's about like what that taught about yourself. Like what it taught you about what yourself.
About me.
Yes.
So that was a big thing. Like when I was young, my grandmother, my dad's mom always said to me, you can do all three things. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Yep.
And that stuck with me, right?
Absolutely.
And that was something I kept telling myself the whole time we were there. And I also wanted to prove Wesley wrong because he was super supportive, but I think in his heart, he was like, oh, my baby.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so soft and gentle. Like,
she's not going to do this.
Yeah. And I like wanted to prove to him that I could and that I was going to. So like going through that was some of the most remarkable times because a lot of the run you are by yourself. Like to be out there, you have to be totally okay with yourself because you'll find out a lot about yourself when you're at the bottom.
Yep.
And when you're tired.
Don't you think that's like life though?
100%.
And business.
Like, I mean, and business.
It relates to like all of it, right?
Exactly. So like if people are like, children should go to university. I'm like, children should go do endurance sports.
Yeah.
Like, I believe you should go do endurance sport before you go to university because you'll learn more about yourself and your capabilities and your outputs when you're enduring than what you will in university. Yeah. You'll learn that grit. Yeah. And that's what it taught me. And I did my 65K the year after that and another one after that. And my goals was to do 100K, but we'd left before I could.
I think 100K. I need to go do that with you. I think that would be like, I would love to do that. I've done one marathon, but that's like
it's amazing, like, and just being out in the mountains and seeing the things God has created around you. Yeah. And it definitely, like, road running is cool, but like being out in the mountains and trail running,
totally would love that.
In those moments where you do feel weak, you can stop and just look around you and be like, wow, look what God created. There's something bigger than me out here. Yeah. And you can appreciate the scenery and the bees and the bugs and the stones. Like there's so much you can appreciate and be like, okay, I got to go. Yeah. No one's coming to save me. Like, I got to get to the end of this. No one's coming to take me out of here. Yeah. I walked myself in here. I got to walk myself out of here.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's like life and in business. So you have this conversation with your husband about, you know, how you wanted not to be just known for your being a mom and not that that's a bad thing. That's one of the hats, and a wife. That's one of the hats, but you wanted more. So you find a friend who inspires you to run this race. This race helps you to develop not just, there's so many inner strengths and so many things that it taught you through that. And then it propels you to get more education and degrees. 100%. So let's talk about that chapter of your life. Like you have now decided, okay, I'm going to go do different types of certifications and things like that.
So at that stage, Wesley, my husband, is so fantastic, right? He empowered me to get as much knowledge as I could. He's paid for everything I've ever wanted to study and anything I've wanted to learn, and even helped me try to start my own business. But we still like being together. I think we've always found our way back to each other, no matter what we've done. We've made a success of things together. Yeah. And at that stage, I was like, okay, I'm ready. My body is in such a healthy place right now. I feel like my mind can do so much more. Like when your body is fit and your body is healthy and everything's working the way it should, your brain has got so much less pressure on it to help your body function.
Absolutely.
That I wanted to learn more. Yep. And I was going to go get this qualification to start a specific business and gone through this process, achieved the qualification and made it through, like on one of my exams also by like just like I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm going to get 80%, like 80% and above. And I got 64 on the one that I thought I was going to do the best on. And I was so disappointed that I didn't. And Wesley was like, but you still passed. Yeah. You still qualified. Like, that's what you wanted. You wanted to I was like, yes, but I had my standards. He's like, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The qualification is what matters.
Yes.
And that really put me in a position to then qualify to be an EEP, which is an Economic Empowerment Professional. So that is a designation that you can earn in South Africa. It's SAQA aligned, which is the South African Qualifications Authority. And this is a designation where you need to meet the minimum requirements to become part of this professional body. And then this professional body helps educate you further in terms of legislation and other compliance things that are happening in the country. And you carry this sort of designation. I now sit on one of the technical committees there, and we get to write practice notes that we are hoping to put forward to the DTIC, which is a government department, to help parts of the legislation be better understood, be applied within the correct way, and as a sort of an industry standard. Because right now the industry is all over the show, and people are verifying and auditing things in different ways, depending on different, professional opinions, QMS systems. So
you're kind of like the voice, like
we get to be a part of the voice. Yes. So that was a real honor to achieve that and become part of the committee, because I'd applied for it when I was here in the States. And a year later, I got the appointment. I had even completely forgot I had applied. And when I got my appointment, I was like, oh, wow, somebody chose me. Like, I'm smart. This is so cool. So that was something super cool. So it's really good for business as well to have that title and profession. I mean, that just sets us sort of a class on its own from other consultants within our field, because they are the accrediting body in our field.
Yeah.
So that is something cool. I get to have the inside scoop. We get to learn a little bit more. We get to know what every other person's doing, because we're a network of people and competitors.
Yeah. Right.
So it's really, really, really been good for business. I've learned a lot. I have a new girl working for me at home in South Africa, and she said to me when I was there now, she's like, I just want to know the things you know. Like, I just want to be you. I was like, when I was in your place, I also just wanted to be somebody like me, and I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of crying. It took a lot of losing. It took, I said to Wes, it felt like I was being beat up all the time. Like, every file I submitted for audit, there was always something wrong.
Uh-huh.
And through doing so many things wrong, I got to learn what was right. So it was really like learning through a process of elimination.
Absolutely.
And that was super tough on me. And it got to the point
where a lot of people don't see that side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they see this person like that's already completed.
That's it.
And they're like, I want to do what you do, but then you're like, well, let's go, let's show you the track record of the failures, the challenges, the setbacks, all the things that I had to go through to get to where I am today.
So Wes calls it the success curse.
Uh-huh.
People only see what you are now, but they overlook or neglect to see what it took to get to that place.
That's whether it's in business, athletics, it's everything.
Everything.
And
it's a real thing. I think there's even a book on it.
Yes.
So it's definitely like a real thing. So being there and being like, okay, every time I've thought I've made it, life has taught me a lesson. But so there is still more to make.
Oh, absolutely.
Learned that through.
So you had lots of recognition. You've gotten several awards.
Yes. So I've been super blessed. Like I said, Wesley's empowered me so much. Like, he's given me so many opportunities within the business itself. Like, I have also felt, because I am his wife and I'm in the business, I do need to work harder than everybody else to be recognized. That it's not just sort of nepotism that I'm there, that I am worth everything I say I am, and my title is earned, not given.
Right.
So that's always been I remember people calling me his secretary in the beginning, people introducing me in the corporate space as Wesley's wife. I'm like, yes. I'm here because I'm smart. Right. I'm smart.
Yeah. Like, I'm, yes, he is the owner, but, like, we balance everything together. And we're partners in this.
Exactly. So I had to learn to work hard there. And like I said, he's been a really big part of empowering that journey. Like, I worked an internship as well, an unpaid one. So I could learn what the auditors knew themselves. And the kids they were babies then. And I would travel to another state, Durban, and I'd go work there for like a week at a time, twice a month. So he'd be with the kids by himself, running the businesses he was running and taking that on, so I could go do those things. So he's definitely been wonderful. He's beautiful.
Yes.
So that was something super cool. And then in 2023, like we were like, okay, we've Skyrun, we've done Roof of Africa, we've grown the business. If we'd left in 2020, we would not have been as financially blessed as we are now. So now's the time to jump. Now's the time we're gonna do this. And we visited Texas in the beginning of the year, visited some friends over here, and then sort of road tripped around Texas. We went to see the Alamo. Can't come to Texas and not see the Alamo.
Yeah, right.
Went to see San Antonio and Bastrop. One of Wesley's favorite authors is Ryan Holiday. This was such a blessing. Like, I didn't think it was possible. I reached out. So he's got a bookstore out in Bastrop called The Painted Porch. And Wesley's like an absolute Ryan Holiday fan. So I reached out and I emailed him. Like, I tracked his email down and I emailed. I can't remember if it was him directly or the bookstore, but I was like, look, my husband is a huge fan. We're coming all the way from South Africa. On our road trip, we're going to come past Bastrop because he has to come to your bookstore. What are the chances if I can buy a book and you can just get him to sign it? And I got a response saying, sure, it's done. We're waiting for you. And we went through. He didn't know he was getting it. So when we got there, I'd already paid for the book and everything. And it was Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. And it was like this leather book cover that Ryan Holiday had put together. It was one of his collector's items at that stage. And Wesley opened it and it said to Wesley, and he wrote him a personal message.
Oh my gosh. Is he like on cloud nine?
He was on cloud nine.
He thought you were like the best thing ever.
Oh, absolutely. He was like, how don't people say no to you? I was like, well, if you don't ask, the answer's always no.
I've heard that my whole life.
So exactly. So I tried and it worked.
Yeah.
So we got to do that. It was just so cool. Got so many cool experiences here. Like I said, the rodeo was, you had me. At the rodeo, I was hook, line, and sinker into this.
Yes.
So we were going to do it. And we said, okay, we're going to start. That was, I think, the May. We were going to start winding things up, and we were going to let... Wesley has always believed in employing younger people because they're blank slates. Yeah. And we can teach them to be different and think different and not hold on to like the throne like older generations before us have.
Right.
So
they're not set in their ways.
Exactly. We can pass things down and we can let them take over.
Yeah.
And that was his plan. And in between all of this, he'd grown the business again. And he started another business. He'd started this compliance-based business platform that's registered out in Dubai and launched this business. It was a huge success. And like, you know, I got to work on that project with them, and like, I'm the chief no sayer. They always joke in the office, I'm the chief no sayer, because I'm always super skeptical. And for every like solution you have, I can put a fault to it. But that's how we sort of complement each other. He's like got these great ideas, and I'm really good at stress testing them for him. So he'll be like this. I'm like, but what about this? He's like, why do you always say no?
Yes.
So this business then took off as well, and it was this beautiful compliance-based business and a platform that was launched where compliance professionals can get together on this platform and look for help amongst each other and network. And it really just started bringing things together. And we'd done that. He had then partnered with another guy. I had met Jesse many years ago within the BE space at a networking event, and like often Jesse and I would just call each other. We'd only met once face to face, and we'd just call each other and bounce ideas off of each other or whatever. And I'd introduced Wes and Jesse, and a little while ago I said to Wes, I'm like, you and Jesse would like make a perfect team. Like, he's such a people's person, and you've got like the crazy genius ideas. Like the two of you together would be unstoppable. And Wesley and Jesse started working together, and they really created something beautiful. And I think Jesse's a little bit younger than I am as well. And they just worked so well together. Like, they've got this beautiful friendship. They've got this beautiful thing that they're growing. And the guys have done really so well. And if I give you a side note about that.
Yes.
In America, you guys say the month first and then the day. In South Africa, we write the day and then the month. This morning, I had flowers delivered to Jesse's fiance for her birthday to say happy birthday. And someone from the office had called me and said, Courtney's birthday was 2 months ago. Her birthday was on the 6th of April. not the 4th of June.
Oh my.
So I had got that so completely wrong today. So she was like, I got my birthday twice. So I was like, and you didn't change your age, so it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Wes had done this. We have a beautiful young team at home. And we were getting ready to go. We started selling things again. The kids are a little bit older, so there was less toys to take with. We were just going to take this cube with. And we were going to come, we were going to start a business over here. And, you know, we paid for our tickets. We looked down, like, what are the legal visa routes and everything. And we'd started that journey. And business was growing and business was growing and business was growing. And we've got this beautiful young man working for us. And he'd made a mistake. Not an unfixable mistake, but we lost a client over it. And it haunted this young man so badly. Like, he's so hard on himself. He's such a beautiful person. Yeah. And he was so hard on himself about it. And like, it was hard sore for us because we loved the client. Like, we love our clients. We believe in doing everything with love.
Yes.
And, you know, based on this, I was like, oh, wow, I don't know if they're ready. And all along we're having these conversations with God. Like, is this what you want us to do? And you're waiting for an outright yes or no, right? Yes. Like, just give me the answer.
Give me the sign. Yeah. And shut the door if it's not, you know, and he will.
Exactly. And at one point I was like, just make it clear. Like, put it on a piece of paper, yes or no. Like,
yes, like that country song. Yeah. Check yes or no.
So, you know, we were sitting downstairs one night in the jacuzzi, just the two of us. The kids had gone to bed and we were sitting in the jacuzzi and we were just talking. And we were like, it was November at this stage. We were due to fly out in December. And we're like, okay, let's make a decision. Are we doing this or are we not doing this? And I think we both had the feeling like, while the team is phenomenal, we worked long and hard to find the right team, but are they mature enough yet to have us step away? Like, COVID has created this online world where that will be okay, but is the team ready to be here, like where we are, and operate where we are? And we were like sitting in the jacuzzi and we were like, let's just make a choice. Like, right here, right now, let's make a choice. And we both just said no. Like, a part of that is like obedience to God over the things we wanted, but the feeling wasn't right. Like, in our hearts, it wasn't the right time to leave.
Were there verses that you really leaned in on during that time?
Absolutely. Like, I hit a blank right now sitting here thinking about it.
There's one that I think of, like, because I've been called so many times to wait, and waiting is never easy.
No.
It is like one of the hardest things that we have to do.
Especially when you're not patient.
No, the patience, right? Like, you never ask God for patience because he will give you a million things to keep you patient, right? But waiting is one of the verses that I love is Psalms 27:14. And there was a definite season in my life where he called me to wait, and with Finley, but it's wait on the Lord. He will give you strength.
I think
wait on the Lord.
With you.
And it's one of the ones that you've shared with me too. But it's so true. Like, it's in that waiting that the strength to when it is time to make that decision.
So we talk about patience. I remember the ones praying for patience.
Oh,
praying for patience. I was like, love is patient, love is kind, but wow, patience is short on me right now.
Yeah.
And I remember driving the kids to school the one day, and I'd been praying profusely for patience over a long time, and had a little bit of road rage in an instant, and it's like I heard this voice come over me and say, well, here's an opportunity to be patient, because I'm not going to give you patience. I'm going to give you opportunities to be patient. Yep. And I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah. No, Everest.
It's so hard. But thank you. Yes. Okay, I'll try.
Yeah.
So definitely. So 2023, November, the end of the year, like summer in South Africa is in December.
Yeah.
Is the end of the year, and South Africa shuts down for like its summer holidays between the 16th of December and about the 16th, maybe the 10th of January. Like nothing happens. Businesses run skeleton staffs. Everybody is in this December mode. So like Christmas is around. So like it's a real festive season.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to do this. But now we have an empty house again. And now we've moved from the bigger property to an even bigger house that we decided at that stage we're going to homeschool the kids. They're not going to go to school. We want to be in charge of their curriculum. Wesley had created a classroom. We'd employed a teacher because I was not teaching them. They made me cry when I did try. So I was not teaching them. We needed a teacher. We had other people sending their kids to our little homeschool. And it was like the craziest thing. So we've got this homeschool going, we've got all of these things going, and okay, it's not time to leave yet. So we decide, okay, we're going to stay, but we're going to shift things around. We cancel our offices. We rented offices and moved the staff into offices. We're going to move everybody back into the house. And we're going to have the school at the house. We're going to have the offices at the house. And this is how it's going to be. And in that time, the kids had also said they wanted to go to school. So I didn't want them to go to normal school. So they went to like a tutor center, which is still homeschool. There's like 8 kids in a class max. So they decided they wanted to do that, and we were going to do this, and then we were going to convert the classroom into offices. And that's what we did. And we never wanted to let our teacher go either. She's been with the girls. She was an au pair first for us. And I think like she was definitely part of our family. Like we've never really had family support that's been around all the time. My grandparents lived with us, and when they weren't traveling, they were a huge help. Wes's mom lives at the coast. So it's really just been us and our family, and Sandra was our au pair, and we got to use her to be that extension of our family. And it was never about a job for her, it was being part of the family.
Yeah.
So she would show up to the girls' gymnastics competitions, their judo competitions, like she was there for the long haul.
Right.
So when we started traveling, we said to her, instead of taking leave when the kids are on holidays, how's about you work in the business? And then you can learn more. Mm-hmm. And then instead of being a teacher forever, you can upskill yourself. And she took the opportunity. So Sandra still works in the business.
Oh, wow.
And she's still a part of the family. So I think one of the things LJ misses the most about South Africa is teacher Sandra. Aww. So hands down, they're going to be upset the day she gets married and they're not flower girls. I think at this stage they might be adults by the time she gets married. So if you're listening, get married. So she's part of the business too. We didn't want her to go, leave her without a job. We made sure everybody stayed employed, but now we changed the game plan. And we had to refurnish the house again. And because we've always raced motorbikes or we've always traveled, we've always focused on spending the money on everything else, never a home. Mm-hmm. Our home was always just put together. Yeah. This was now, we're going to do a home. And we had done the home up. We had bought brand new beds, brand new dining room tables, had custom furniture made, custom curtains. We had gone all out.
Okay, this is in 2023.
This is in 2023. So by the time Black Friday hits in 2023, we were shopping. And we had just started a new life. Okay. And we were going to stay.
So you thought, this is going to be long term.
This is going to be long term.
Wow.
And we love Dubai. We keep going back to Dubai for vacation. Uh-huh. It is really, they really make things relaxing there. So even though it's a city sort of vacation, the beach, the Arabian Gulf is absolutely exquisite, and they really have hospitality like nowhere else. Uh-huh. And they make holidaying. Uh-huh. They really keep you relaxed. We'd gone to Dubai. That's where I had come back and I'd clocked out from. And, we were working. Now, in South Africa, we've got 9-foot walls, 12-foot walls, electric fences. With the police are very unreliable. If you call them, you might have to spell words to them that they don't even know how to spell. They are sometimes poorly educated. They are underfunded. If you call them out, they might not even have a vehicle to get out to you. They might even show up 5 hours later. Wow. So you really don't rely on the police force in South Africa. You rely on your private security. Wow. So South Africa's got a lot of these bubbles created. We've got gated communities, boomed off communities that need biometrics to get in. There's security guards sitting at the gate. Some people have security guards sitting outside their houses. There's a lot going on. And in 2024, Wesley and I swapped our gym routines around, and I was then going to go do the 5 a.m. class. So I loved CrossFit. Wes loved CrossFit. He did some Olympic weightlifting, and it was a really cool time for us. Really, another period of growth was that season. And I would always come down the stairs. Our house was 3 stories. I'd always come down the stairs and I'd look at my desk to see if my computer monitor was still there. And then I knew the house was fine. So
really, that was
my okay, everything's fine.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd come down.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. Come down, check that the monitor's there. When the monitor's there, it's okay to go. And then I have to go out the house, which is now nerve-wracking, get into my car, and now have to reverse out. And because my mom was killed in her driveway, I think I do carry some of that stress, like being shot in my driveway. And then people getting into the house because they now have all my keys to get into the house where Wesley and the kids are. It's always been stressful. And at that time in the morning, it's dark. So that was always super...
PTSD for sure.
Right?
I mean, rightfully.
Super stressful. And that was going on for months and months and months. But I'm like, hey, the computer's there. Everything's fine. The computer's there. Everything.
That was your basis. Computer's there. No one's in the house. I can leave.
Exactly. So...
But okay, I know we've had conversations about this, but I want to make sure that we're explaining it correctly because I think this is super important and it's hard to understand living in the United States. But there are floors.
Yes.
In the house.
Yes.
Each floor has gates.
So where there are bedrooms, there are security gates. So like here in the States, I find the master bedroom will be downstairs and the kids' bedrooms will be upstairs, or the master bedroom will be on one side of the house and the kids' bedrooms on the other side of the house. In South Africa, it's not like that. Our houses are built that your living quarters are all together.
Okay.
And that your living space is separate. And then where the sleeping quarters are, there'd be a sturdy security gate that you at night would lock your family behind. You'd set an alarm, you'd set the outside beams, you check that the gates, the huge gate outside is locked, the electric fence is working, everything is on, then you're safe. You're going to bed safely.
Okay, in just again, I'm trying to visualize myself, but like a house in the United States, they have different floors.
Yes.
But it's still all part of the same house. This is the same, correct?
It's the same, but you're locking yourself away at night. You're locking yourself, you've created your own prison that you can be safe.
Wow. Okay.
So it's so crazy.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, so like, it's really, even like you talking about it and me trying to visualize, I still have a really hard time. Maybe I can show a picture of what this looks like.
You see, like I had to explain to someone like in South Africa, Amazon doesn't leave a package by your door because they can't get to your door because there's a gate and another gate. So no one's leaving anything by your door. They have to hand it to you in your hand. And if they did leave it by the door, somebody would steal it.
Right.
So you can't come to my front door. Like, no one's coming to
sell. You have to call and say, hey, I'm coming over.
Exactly.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
And I'm expecting you.
Okay.
So that's not how.
What about a hospital? Like, what if you have like an emergency?
Well, then you've got to open all those gates and close all of those gates as you go. Make sure they close before you go and then go off to the hospital. The hospital also has booms with spikes that come out the ground. So that's, you got to get your ticket first. You got to wait for the boom to open and then...
Oh my goodness. Okay, I need pictures. I need a post. Like, that is insane.
Everything is so super secure. Like, there's security everywhere. So now we've got these guys over there. We've got then in our community, we've got a boom gate as well. As you enter the state, there's a security guard there and he's got to open the boom for you and check that it's you. And then he opens the boom and he closes the boom. And at certain times, they close the gates. So there's a boom and a gate. And at that time in the morning, the gates are still closed. So he's got to open the boom.
What's a boom?
A boom is like one of those things that come up and down.
Okay.
So that's a boom gate.
Okay.
So that's what happens there. Then the security guard's got to... Like, this is now also making me stressed because now I'm waiting for this guy. I could get hijacked sitting here in this moment while he's taking his time. He could get, like, attacked.
Yeah.
So, like, this is also nerve-wracking.
Oh, my God. I don't know how you live like this.
Yes. And now after being blessed enough to go see the rest of the first world for the most part, being like, why do we have to live like this? In South Africa, we are in survival mode 24/7. Whether you're rich or you're poor, it doesn't matter. As a South African, you're always surviving.
Yeah.
Like when you get out at the store, the shops, the kids don't just get out by the car and run freely into the store. They wait till you open the door. They get out by you. They hold your hand. Then you walk into the store together. They never run ahead of you. They never go to the bathrooms by themselves. They never do anything alone. You're always hyper aware when you're... There's a thing in South Africa which is super popular as well, is a smash and grab. That's when you stop at a stop street or a traffic light and somebody walks up to your window, they smash your window and they grab your cell phone, your handbag, whatever. So there's even smash and grab hotspots all over. There's even signs that tell you, like, be on the lookout for smash and grabs. So... And in South Africa, we've got a lot of beggars that move between the cars, but you never know, are you a beggar? Are you going to smash and grab me? Are you going to come out of the bushes? Like, you're always alert.
Yeah, so your cortisol is up at all times. And your kids, I mean, they're being raised in it, so they don't even really know any different at this time.
No, that's all they know. They know that they stay with us in the store. They walk with us everywhere we go. We do everything together.
Okay.
You have no freedom. Like, we can't go to a park. We can't go anywhere because people are pickpocketing handbags. People are being hijacked. They steal children all the time. So it's really like you're always on guard.
Yeah.
Alert. Like, my husband is always fending off danger. So, like I said, you're always surviving.
Mm-hmm.
And after seeing the world, I was like, why do we have to live like this? Like, I know what Wesley's been going on about for the longest time now. Like, he is right. Like, why do we have to live like this? And in my mind, I was going to find a way for us to go live in Dubai. He was still Texas. I was not coming to Texas. I still chose Dubai. And I was like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but we are going to leave. I'm now committed to leaving. I know we were going to leave twice before, but I know I'm leaving this time.
Yeah.
I've fallen out of love with this place.
Yeah.
Everything.
Kids. I mean, there's got to be like this. It's one thing if it's just you.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing to not feel like you could take care of your kid.
Yeah, or give them freedom.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when we go to Dubai, the girls get to go to the bathroom by themselves.
Yeah.
They get to ride scooters off down the Broadway by themselves.
Right.
They get to walk to the beach by themselves. They get to walk off on the beach by themselves. That's nothing I would ever let them do at home. And of course, you're a tourist. You need to be aware of everything. And that was the same here. Like, they got to walk around the Walmart.
Yeah.
When we came here, that's the first thing they wanted to do. The first time we visited, they want to go to Target and Walmart because that's what they see on YouTube.
Yeah.
That they want to go unbox something.
Yes.
So yeah. So we had to go see Walmart and we had to see Target. That was our first two stops.
That's hilarious.
So that was the first time they'd actually got to walk away from us in the store.
Wow.
I was stressing. Like, I was not okay with it. My friend was like, it's fine. Like, it is fine. The first time we stayed here as well, the friends we stayed with, they had a doggy door. And
a doggy door.
A doggy door.
You would not see those there.
No, in South Africa you wouldn't because people could come through it.
Yes, right.
And I was like, how do we close this thing? And they were like, we don't. And I was like, no, seriously. At night, how do we close this thing? They're like, we don't. The dog goes through it. I'm like, but I could get through that. And they're like, it will be fine. I waited for everybody to go to bed. I went around myself, made sure the windows and doors were locked and everything. And
you poor thing.
I was so stressed the first couple of nights that my kids were sleeping in 2 different bedrooms. They were next to me though, but that this doggy door was open, you know. And when we were staying with them at the same time too, they allowed us to use one of their vehicles. And they were going to go somewhere else and we were going to go back to the house. And we had gone through the back alley and we were parking the car in the garage. And we closed the garage door and the next minute the garage door started opening. And we were blocked in by this truck. And it was them. They'd come home, they'd forgotten something. And we were like, you can't do that. We have South African trauma. Like, we're ready to fight. The kids have already taken off inside. They know to hide.
Yeah.
Like, my kids know to hide. And here you are, it's just you guys coming home. You can't do that. You have to warn us. Like,
oh my gosh.
Wesley's ready to punch somebody.
Wow.
So that was like, whew, okay, we're okay. Everything's fine. And they laughed and it was like a whole little chuckle thing. And that moment happened.
Yeah. But it's just it's a realness. It's like,
yes.
they, you know, like we don't have to deal with.
Exactly.
You know.
So, okay, that's now happened. Now I'm ready to go. I'm coming to Dubai. Like, I'm going to work a way that Wesley's going to buy into Dubai.
Right.
Like, we got a business there and everything, but we're going to live in Dubai. And this was probably about June in 2024. In probably that same time, I had received a job offer. Like, I had started speaking to somebody this side and they were like, we'll come over, we'll give you a job, we'll go help you through the visa process, you can come work for us. And I was like, that's cool. Stayed in touch with them all along. And I was like, I'm never going to the States. I'm going to Dubai. And
God was laughing.
Yeah, 100%. If you want to make him laugh, tell him your plan.
Yes, that's right.
But I had such a beautiful friendship with this guy that we stayed in touch all along. He used to check in on me all the time. I would check in on him. And we'd keep speaking. He'd also introduce us to another immigration attorney because, like, throughout this process of leaving every time, we'd worked with different ones. And he'd recommended one. And we just developed this beautiful friendship. And in June, my mother-in-law had she'd actually come over to stay by us for a funeral. I think it was her brother-in-law's funeral. I can't remember right now. But she'd come to stay with us, and she was staying with us for about 6 weeks just to spend some time with the kids too. Like I said, she stays in a different province, which is like a state. So she was also spending some time with the girls. And when we changed things around the house, we'd moved to the top floor, and she was on the middle floor. And there was a gate over there. This is such a crazy story, another sidestep here. We say Memphis has got this like direct line to Jesus. So because we were going to move after our last dogs passed away, we said we're not going to buy dogs. Like, that's a lot of responsibility to move the dogs, and it's going to be complicated. And in 2023, my one goal before we decided to stay, was to hike the tallest waterfall in the world, because how can I live in South Africa and not do that? And the kids wanted a puppy if we stayed. We'd hike the tallest waterfall in the world. Breathtaking, terrifying hike. The kids had done that. The girls are some of the youngest girls to ascend as well, so it's like a really cool experience. And when we got back to the hotel, we were just looking at like pictures of dogs, and there's like a lot of scams out there where they're sending you pictures of dogs, and you can actually see the house is not a South African house. This is like an American house, and this is not the dog, and people take your money and you don't get these dogs. And Memphis prayed. She said that night, "Dear Lord Jesus, please send us the perfect puppy for our family." And the next day we started heading home from our holiday and our hike, and at the gas station out jumps this little wiener puppy from the bushes onto Wesley's feet.
No way.
And we're like, "Whose dog is this?" And there's a guy that works in the restaurant there. We're like, "Is it your dog?" He's like, "No, this dog followed me from the township." He's like, "I've got to go to work. What must I do with the dog? Somebody must take the dog." I'm like, "Isn't it somebody's dog?" He's like, "No, it followed me from the township." And the township's like 5 kilometers.
No
like
way.
a real rural area.
No way.
Like townships are pretty much shacks. They could be low-cost housing. Like it's really not good quality living for the South African people. And he's like, "No, I'm going to work. You guys take the dog." And like now I'm like,
oh, my daughter just prayed, and this is the answer.
And the girls are like puppy dogging eyeing dad, and this dog is like on his feet, and we're like, "Please." And he can't say no. Now we have this dog. So we post on Facebook a photo of the dog. We've put it out there that if it's anybody's dog, let us know. We'll make a plan to bring the dog back with you. But the dog's going back to Joburg with us as of now.
Yeah.
And nobody ever contacted us about the dog. So this dog is ours. He is here in the States with us.
Aww.
So he is here. So we named him after the mountain guide that took us to climb the mountain. Her name was Z, and the dog's name is Z as well. So we named him after her. So she's a mountain lady and he's a mountain dog.
Yes.
So Z is here with us. So God just answered those prayers there.
Yeah.
So we decided to stay as well, obviously at this time. 2024 came, we also bought another puppy that he wasn't alone. And I'm now making my exit. I'm like, but how do I get these dogs to live in Dubai? How are we going to do this? And everything. So my mom-in-law's over there, and now these dogs are puppies. So he's still small enough to squeeze through the security gates. And on the Sunday night, the outside beams went off at the house. And we woke up and we checked the zone, and it was in the backyard. And everything seemed fine. Wesley went to go check, takes the gun and everything, goes to go check. Everything seems fine. Okay, for some reason the alarm's not activating. So we're like, okay, that's fine. It's going to be okay. Z's also running up and down between our bedrooms and my mom-in-law's bedroom. So he might also be tripping the alarm inside the house. That's why we can't set it. Like something's happening, but
so it's not setting.
It's not setting. So we're like, okay. So Monday, something else is also like off in the house. Like we have a gas guy come out to fix the gas fireplaces and everything. And the alarm's still not setting. So I'm now going to phone the alarm company to come out and have a look and fix the alarm because it's very unsafe, obviously.
Yes.
Even had a whole dispute with them to come out on time and, the safety concerns about it and everything. And Tuesday morning, we woke up. I didn't go to gym that morning. it was Monday morning. I went to gym, and like things were just not right there. I also didn't have a good feeling, but the computer screen was still there, so it was okay. So Tuesday night, the alarm is still not working. The alarm company still hasn't come out. And that night, Z is barking. Like, he's a puppy, but he's a very vocal dog too. So we're like, this stupid dog. Like, will he just shut up?
Yeah, but he's probably directing you.
Yeah. And then the gas guys were out there, and we've got like these stacking doors. And I get down to the office, and it's winter. And I'm like, Dean, why is the office door open? He's like, I didn't open it. Maybe Barley opened it. That's the cleaner. And like, I'm like, Barley, did you open the door? She's like, no, I thought you opened the door. And the door was like off the tracks. So I was like, oh, maybe when the gas guys were here, they didn't, like they opened the doors to let the gas smell out the house. So maybe they didn't close it properly, and maybe it bounced open. Okay, Wesley and Dean and the gardener, they all get together, and they like have to do quite a bit of effort to put these huge doors back onto the track. And they lock the doors. Again, the alarm company doesn't come out. Wednesday morning, probably at about 2 a.m., I wake up. Wesley has woken up and said, Mommy. And he's sitting up next to me, and I still thought to myself, I'm like, when did you become a mommy's boy? Calling your mommy in your sleep. And I'm like, what? And he's like, my mommy's screaming. And I'm like still waking up and coming to, and I can hear her screaming, like we've locked the gate between our bedrooms. She's screaming, let me in, there's people in the house. So like he's now jumping up, he's trying to get to her. She's now woken LJ up because the gate's right by her bedroom. And she's in a state, she's like falling apart. And LJ, she's such a good child. She knows when the time calls for her to be the most mature she can possibly be. And now she's looking after Granny. So she's now told us there are people in the house. She saw them.
LJ did?
No, Wes's mom.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, LJ's now heard everything. We can't protect her from that. I go into Memphis's bedroom and I rip her out of bed. Like, I didn't even wake her up. I didn't anything. Like, when I think back to it now, I'm like, wow, that was probably the worst thing I could do to a child. And I ripped her out of bed and I put her in the room with our bedroom, which was the room right at the end, with LJ, the Aussie Collie, my mom-in-law, and I locked them in. Like, they can't get out now. And now I'm going to phone the security company because we can't phone the police, so we're going to phone the security company. And I'm going to wait in LJ's bedroom by the window to let them in with the remote, because you've got to open the gate with the remote. When they get here, I'm going to let them in. So I'm going to stand, wait, and Wesley's going to go be Rambo. So he grabs the gun and off he goes downstairs. Now
That's scary.
Yes, but in those moments, like, I think the girls were scared, Wes's mom was scared, but we're doing what we've
Gotta do.
Spoken about, we've rehearsed, we know what we've got to do to protect our family now.
Yeah.
So Wesley's gone down the stairs. I'm sitting in LJ's room now. The gate is locked between us again. So now Wesley's locked on the other side of the gate. And us girls are locked up at the top.
And like, just to get perspective, what does the gate look like?
So it is a security gate. If I could think of something similar here, I couldn't even.
Like, is it iron? Is it?
It's iron bars.
Like a jail.
Like a jail, pretty much with that, but with bars going this way as well.
Wow.
Because like no one must even be able to squeeze through there. So we've got the gate locked now, and I'm sitting looking at the front yard. So if I look down from the top, the driveway is below me. The cars park under this section of the house by the garage. And then we've got the middle floor, the bottom floor drops down. We lived on mountains. It drops down and there's a jacuzzi area there, and then the sauna and a swimming pool. And the next minutes, I just watch a man run across the driveway. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I just saw somebody. Like, I just saw somebody.
And you can't communicate to your husband?
Yeah, like, I don't know where he is. Like,
Oh
the
my
property's
gosh.
huge. The house is huge. Like,
Right.
I don't want to give him up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Like, I'm waiting for security to get you because I've phoned them. I'm on the phone with them. Like, where are you? And the next minute, another guy runs. And like, Wesley would always joke with me because I was so like anal about making sure doors were locked. And he always used to say, because the walls are so high, like nobody's a ninja, they're not scaling the wall, they're not climbing up onto the balconies, they're not doing any of that. I watched those men become ninjas over the section of the wall that's like 12 foot, like parkour over the wall. And at this stage, one has run, and Wesley now runs out the front door under the bedroom. And he shouts to me, "That's them, stop them, they have our stuff." And I have a remote in my hand and a cell phone. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Throw this at him?
Shout at him? I don't know what to do. Even I'm still in shock that I just saw somebody do that.
Right.
And this guy has at the same time like jumped onto the top of the gate. He climbed on the electric box and then onto the top of the gate, which has got a wall on top of it. And Wesley's shooting. And Wesley shot this guy off. And he hit the ground, like splat, but ran. Like this is all happening in front of me. Like things are happening in slow-mo, but they're happening so fast.
Right.
And he's now out the front gate. He wants me to open the gate now. He's in a gown, a robe.
Yeah.
Like a fuzzy little fluffy robe, right? And his slippers. He's so good. He's such a buff guy. Yeah. Like this Hugh Hefner robe. And he's out there, and the dog is running because the dog was now following him. He's shooting, the dog is running. The security stops there just in time, and now the security's having a shootout, and they run down the road. These guys are running, and we're just hearing gunshots throughout the neighborhood. This whole time, there are gunshots. None of our neighbors come out or even text to check if we're okay. Like,
oh my gosh.
Because you can't come out, because then your life might be in danger.
Right.
You don't know where these guys are. So a little while later, the security comes back. They're like, they made it onto the golf course. Once you're on the golf course, you're like, you can disappear. So, and the golf course has a fence around it. So there's nowhere the security car could go around. They'd actually have to go around an entire neighborhood to get into the golf course. So they were gone. So they come back and they were like, "Do you want us to phone the police?" We're like, "Well, what are the police going to do?" So no. We're good. And he was like, "Oh, okay, have a good evening, sir." And the security just gets in his car and drives away like it's
no big deal.
Another day.
I mean, there's no accountability. There's no consequence.
There's nothing.
So like that, like it's going to happen again.
Yes. And off he goes. Security shows up that day to fix the alarm. Phoned the kid's school. LJ was supposed to be writing her last exam before the school holidays. I was like, I don't know if she's going to write. This is just what our morning's been like. You know, she's only just fallen asleep again. The kids now don't want to sleep in their own room. My mom-in-law doesn't want to sleep on the third floor, the middle floor. She wants to be on the third floor by us. So now we've moved LJ's bed into Memphis's room and crammed them in there. We've moved my mom-in-law's bed from her bedroom up into the top floor by us, and she's now in LJ's bedroom. Everybody's rattled and scared. Like going to sleep that night is difficult. My mom-in-law is like super traumatized by everything. I mean, she was the one who saw them. She was the one who
woke up to it.
Like two men in the office. And like she describes it like she heard a noise and then she saw two men talking. And she was like, they were just so casual about everything. And
oh my, like they had been there or they'd seen it.
Went down into the office and the door was open again. They had come in that same door. It was them taking it off the tracks. And what they had taken was, we had bought brand new monitors for everyone in the office. And they had taken the monitors, but we did recover all of them. They had obviously made a couple of trips up and down because the monitors were already at the gate and on top of the walls. Wesley actually had to get a ladder to get on top of the wall to get the monitors down. They had taken those. We got them back. But like I said, they'd obviously made a couple of trips because when I saw the guys run, they didn't have anything in their hands. And then I made a joke because Dean's desk was very messy. I'm like, was it them who did this or is this you? Like, I'm unsure. Uh-huh. And the craziest thing is, like, I've got Carol Boys, which is a artist in South Africa. I've got like her pencil cups and a couple of her other goodies in my office. Like, they went for my computer screen, but the Carol Boys would have been worth so much more. It showed me that they weren't intelligent beings because I would have left the screen and taken the Carol Boys.
Yes.
So we got our screens back. Wesley plugged them back in. The staff had come in for the day. We had told everybody what happened. Everyone's like, wow, shaken up by the whole thing. I don't go back down to work in the office. I don't think I'll work the rest of the week. The next Monday, I went to the office and I plugged my laptop in and I plugged the screen into my laptop. But I'm like, this the big screen's not coming on. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, no, like when you're scratching your bone, you look like a monkey.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm like, I know I'm technologically not advanced, but I'm like, surely this is easy. And I walk around and I see the cable has actually been stolen. That was the power cable into the monitor.
Oh, wow.
So they'd stolen my monitor and they'd stolen one of the other girls' hard drives. So it just had files on it, like nothing secure, nothing over the top, which was just a hard drive she was using to move things around. So they'd got away with that, and I think like a HDMI cable.
Oh.
So that
not much.
That was what they'd essentially got away with.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, that was gone. But it was after that, like my mom-in-law was like, it's time for you guys to leave. She was like the first one to say, it's time for you to leave. Wesley was scheduled to come over here to explore some more business opportunities that September. So he'd already had a ticket booked. This was the June. We were like, oh, should we go? This seems like we need to go. This seems like we're not going to do this to the kids again. We are going to go. We're going to leave. And we're like, okay, how did we transfer his tickets so I can come in September and then we'll buy 2 more tickets for the kids? And then he told the kids straight away. I was like shocked at that at the same time. He's like, you and mommy are going to go and I'm going to finish up everything here and then I'll meet you there. Like Memphis thinks I'm such a strict mom. She's like, don't leave me alone with mommy.
Oh. She's like, wait, can we reverse the two?
No, she's like, can't I stay with you? You're fun.
Oh.
So he's now told the kids.
I'm known that way too. Like, I mean, I'm definitely the non-fun or funny.
Dad's super fun. Mom's super strict. Like,
yeah.
I've got the rules in order. I'm like a general.
Yep.
So
I hear you.
Yeah. So we're like that. And we have friends of ours. They are our mentors in Christ and in business. And we've got this beautiful friendship with them. They're a lot older than us. They've worked our journey with us and everything. And we had them over for a lunch the one day. And we're discussing going. We're really discussing leaving. And Jackie says to us, she's like, this is the 3rd time. Jackie always says the kindest, softest, like most real things. And she's like, you didn't go the 1st time. You didn't go the 3rd time, the 2nd time. So the 3rd time God sent you the thief in the night.
Yep.
And if you don't get that message, well, then I don't know. So what are you guys doing?
Wow. And so plain and simple.
So plain and simple. Just like Wesley's like, it sounds like you need new friends. Like,
yep. Plain and simple.
She put it out there. And they had left and we were like, okay, we're going to go. We're going to do this. Like, I'm going to leave with the girls before the school year starts so we can get them here in time. And we're going to get our visas rolling and we're going to do everything. And this is how it's going to be. And Wesley's going to stay behind because getting the dogs over is quite the process. And he's going to finish up at the house and sort the business out. And we like drop this on everybody. Like, oh, we weren't going, but now we are going. Less than a year later, boom, guys, it's time for you to grow up. You guys are going to now run the business while we go overseas. So that happened really quickly, super, super, super quickly. We packed up a house. We packed up a container. My mom-in-law helped through the whole process. Like, she was packing up rooms. I was packing up rooms. We were purging things. There's things you can't bring over here. We took a 20-foot container. Not everything fit in the container. So there was stuff that was left behind that was brand new. Sold a lot of stuff again. And this is what we're going to do.
Wow, that's amazing. And, it's like, I think that God started preparing your heart way before it was time.
Yeah.
Like, he's so patient.
Yeah.
Like the patience that he has. And, we think we're waiting, but he's just being kind and merciful. Yeah. And because you weren't ready in 2020, you weren't ready in 2023, but he was like, here, I'm going to continue to show you that you are ready.
Yeah. And while all of this was happening, he was opening doors here.
Yeah.
He was moving things around so that things would be perfect. Like, I don't know what our chances of a visa would have been years ago. We weren't as financially well off as we are now. We were always blessed and financially well off. But obviously, every time we stayed, business grew tenfold.
Yeah.
So it put us in this different place. Yeah. And we had this opportunity to work over here. And he had an opportunity to buy a business. And we were going to do all of these things. So off we came, the girls and I came, got them into school. I've only ever had one panic attack in my life. Like, that is not anxiety and stress and that don't plague me. I really, really thrive well under pressure and stress. Like I love the calm in the chaos.
Yeah.
Like I really thrive there.
Yeah.
So to have this feeling, that morning I'd gone to get my hair done, like my last blow, wash and blow and get it curled and everything. And I was sitting at the salon. They actually were closed and they opened for me because it was my last one. And I was sitting there. It's not even my regular hairdresser that was helping me. It was somebody else. It was the owner of the salon that done me a favor. I used to go every Friday for my hair, me and the girls, get her hair washed and blowed every Friday. So like we were regulars there. So she was like, it's fine, I'll do your hair before you leave. And I was sitting there and we're like chatting about how exciting this all is and everything. And then at some point I was like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like something's not right. Mm-hmm. And I had a box of paperwork in the car that I couldn't get into the suitcase weight, that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna mail it over. Like I'm gonna put all these documents in a box and I'm gonna mail it to America and then it will get there. Then I don't have to worry about the weight in the suitcases. And I was sitting there and like things just inside of me just started changing. And Wesley had let me drive his car. He had a Mustang RTR. Now in South Africa, Mustangs are not all over the roads like they are here. They are unique. Not everyone has one. They're really pricey. They're not everyday cars like they are here. And he had an RTR collector's Mustang.
Wow.
That I think I was allowed to drive once or twice.
My son would love that.
Yeah, I was never allowed to look at it. Like it was his baby, can't touch it. But he let me drive it that morning to the hair salon because he was going to pack my car, the Jeep, with all the suitcases and that. And now I'm driving his car and I phone him. I'm like, I'm not okay. And he's like, what? What do you mean? Because he knows I'm always okay.
I'm always okay.
I'm always okay. Like I'm never not okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm not okay, I'm just being dramatic.
Yes.
Like I'm always okay. And I'm like, something's not right. Like I'm shaking, I'm hot and I'm cold. I'm freaking out on the inside. He's like, well, don't come home like that. He's like, don't let the kids see you like that. You've got to be brave now the whole, like up until you get there. Yeah. Like he's like, you can break when you get there. You can't break now. Like you're going to freak the kids out. Don't come home. I'm like, what must I do? I was like, I've got paperwork. I'm gonna go to DHL and I'm gonna do the paperwork. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I pull up to the mall, get out, and like we've done a lot of business in the store, so the girls know me over there, and she's busy weighing the stuff, and I just drop to the floor, like I'm just on my haunches, crouched. But now I'm shaking. I'm not crying, but I'm like shaking. Something's not right. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. She's like, okay. Why don't you go get in the car? I'll finish up here because I had already pre-typed everything. I'll finish up here and I'll bring the card machine to the car and we'll finish up while you're sitting in the car. And like there's people in the store around me, like I'm like, I must look like a nutcase. And I'm now sitting in the car. I've got the heaters on to try and warm me up. Nothing's working. And so
what were you thinking at this point?
I don't know. I was just like, I wasn't thinking anything negative. I can't say I was stressed. I can't say like I had no negative thoughts. Like this was just the biggest thing I was ever going to do, and I was going to do it without my partner in crime. Yeah. Like he was staying. Yeah. And he's staying behind in a 3-story, like 7-bedroom house that is now echoing because it's so empty by himself. What's going to happen to the business? Are we going to make it over there? Are the kids going to be fine? Like, are we going to get separated because of the immigration stuff that's happening in America? Like, what's going to happen? Like,
oh yeah, you're speaking a language that a lot of people that have freedom here don't have to think about.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like that kind of stress.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, and now this is going to be the longest flight route we're going to take as well. And the first time I've flown locally with the kids before, but I've never flown internationally without us as a whole team. So now I'm going to do this with the kids alone. And one of the legs on the flights, my seat is not next to theirs. The seats were sold out and I could only get them next to each other, but I took 2 seats back. So I'm also preparing myself to negotiate with a stranger to switch out a seat with me so I can sit by the kids. I even said to them, if this person says no, make sure you're annoying that they want to swap. Yeah. I was like, you never get to behave like that. But if this person says no, you have to climb over this person and come to your mommy and go to the bathroom as many times as you want. So I'm also stressed about where we're going to be seated on the one leg of the route.
Yeah.
So Wesley phones me. He's like, where are you? I was like, no, you told me not to come home. He's like, but where are you? I'm like, no, I'm mailing off the paperwork. He's like, okay, come home. So as I pull up the driveway, it's like a really steep driveway because we live on this mountain. And I pull in with his car. No, he's like, don't crash the car.
Whatever you do.
Don't crash my baby. And as I drive, I see him in the window. He's standing there. He comes straight out, straight away. And he gets in the passenger seat next to me. And he's like, look at you, crying in your R1,000,000 car, in your 3,000 Rand pants, with your 10,000 Rand worth of jewelry. He's like, look how spoilt you are, crying in a Mustang. And I'm like, I'm counting all my blessings as he's saying them. And I'm like, I am really blessed off. I'm this kept woman. He's looked after me so well and provided so well. I'm so blessed. I'm like, oh, it's not stopping. Like the breathing is bad now.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, go upstairs, go to the room, finish up whatever you have to do, and just calm down now. The kids are like questioning where you are. He's like, calm down. So I get up, go all the way up the stairs to the 3rd floor. I go to my bedroom and I'm trying to like avoid the kids like the plague. And I get to our bedroom and we've got these gas heaters. So they're like, it's a gas heater that heats up, sort of like patio heaters, except it's a little square one with the panels on the front. So I go lay in front of the heater. Like I'm just trying to warm up. I've got blankets over me and Memphis comes in the room and she's like, I'm laying with my bum in the air, even just like in a yoga position here, trying to calm down. And she's like laying there next to me now, like, hey, mommy, what's up? What's wrong? I'm like, nothing, baby, nothing's wrong. And in that moment, like, he's calmed me down. He helped me with my breathing in the car already. Like, her being there, like, snapped me back into, like,
mom.
I got to be mom now. We get ready. We've packed the car. We're off to the airport now. We've checked in. Now we're going to have our last meal as a family. And he's like, you can't cry. You're going to make them cry.
Oh.
So it's super tough. Took a photo of the girls. They still were like sitting in a wimpy. That was our last South African meal, was wimpy. And the girls, you can see in their eyes, they're not themselves.
Yeah, because her dad's not coming.
Yeah. So we get to the point where we've got to say goodbye. Again, LJ, beautiful child. She like pulls it all together and she doesn't cry. She says goodbye to him and she holds my hand. Memphis is like ready to cry and she's like, no, Mimi, we spoke about this. We can't cry. Like we spoke about it. And she's got her sister by the hand and we're there and we're off to cross over security and like border control. And the queue is so long that we stood there for an hour just trying to have our passport stamped. And then to leave South Africa with kids with only one parent, you need a specific form filled in to get permission from the other parent.
Yeah, I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, so I've got this form. They've now asked to see it. I've got all. I'm a compliance officer. I've got this. Anything you want checked, I've got this, right? So my boxes are checked, but now I checked, like the kids still want to get ice cream. I'm like, guys, we don't have time.
Yeah.
Like we've got to get some snacks. Like it's right by the gate. Like we've got to run to the gate.
Yeah.
We just make it to the gate, get on the plane, and we're there. Now it's like, okay, everything else I've been worried about has now subsided.
Yep.
We've said goodbye to Daddy.
You're on the plane.
We've got to now do this. We're on the plane. This is what we're doing. So got that all done. Wow, what an experience.
What an experience.
What an experience. Gotcha. Had to, stood in immigration for about 3 hours waiting. There was so many people. And got to our friends' houses. They put us up for about 3 weeks. We stayed with them before we moved into our own house. We moved into our own house with our daddy. The scariest thing I had to do was like buy a car without my husband or my father. Like they've always bought me cars. Now I must choose my own car. I'm like, what if I buy a lemon?
Yeah.
I'm going to spend all that money. He's going to be upset when he gets here. Maybe it's a piece of junk. Yeah. What if it's not a good car? Like I'm stressed. So phone Wes about it. He phones the dealership. And he makes the dealership take him through everything. All I have to do is have one of our friends test drive the car.
Make sure it's not a lemon, yeah.
And make sure it's not a lemon and bring the check. He's taking care of everything for me again.
Oh.
So we do that. I get my car. I don't drive it home because you guys drive on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
So I asked my friends, can you drive the car home? And that weekend I said to them, can you look after the kids for a little while? I just need to go drive around the neighborhood by myself to make sure I don't kill anyone.
Yes.
So I done it successfully, found my way back. Now we got to sort out cell phones, got to sort out school supplies. We're running around to do all of those things. And we're like waiting for Wes to come over.
Yeah.
And eventually the dogs could take like 6 months, and because they were puppies, we didn't want to put them in a kennel. We wanted them, they were our family, they need to be with us. That's why we stayed predominantly. And I annoyed the South African company who transports the dogs so much every day that they had started their day and ended their day with messages, emails, and phone calls from me that I think they were like, just take the dogs. So he was then going to fly. It was just over a month that we were separated from each other. I also didn't tell the girls that Wes was coming. And we had arranged that somebody else would pick him up from the airport and that he would ring the doorbell. And the kids are, because I'm still in South African mindset, the kids are never allowed to answer the door, go to the door. But this day I said, I'm expecting something. I'm going to have people over. So while we're chatting, the grown-ups are chatting, you can answer the door. And the bell rings and they open the door and it's their dad.
Hello.
There was just tears.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, but Memphis knew when she spoke to him. He was on the airplane. He was in business class. She's like, Daddy, it looks like you're sitting in business class. He's like, no, I'm not. She's like, Daddy, that looks like an airplane. And he's like, no, I'm not. She's like, that looks like the lights in the airplane. And he's like, but it's not. She's like, you're in business. And he's like, I'm not. So she had this feeling that he was on his way.
Oh.
So yeah, that was super tough. He'd bought into a business here when he'd got here, and he pretty much hit the ground running. The business didn't go well, the partnership that he went down on, and it landed up in mediation. So mediation, we settled that mediation. We're recovering some of the money. We won't recover all of the money that we spent, but it was just not a right.
Yeah.
It was not right. It was not what God wanted for us. And before he came, I always said to him, I don't believe that's the business for you, like in my heart, but he is like an entrepreneur to the bone. He wanted to come and make a difference, and he was going to try come hell or high water.
Well, yeah.
And I said to him, I don't believe that's where your talents lie. And I think that's not quite below you, but it's not what you're supposed to do. You're not that guy.
Right.
But like I said, at some stage he was going to do what he wanted to do, and we learned lots of lessons. It gave us a good soft landing. It gave us a good place to learn. Lost us a friendship in between, which was super sad, but we've always asked God to remove the people from our lives that shouldn't be there, and the things that shouldn't be there, and put the people there that should be. And it was a super tough time. I had taken the job to get the visa, so I was still running my department in South Africa, and I was working here so that we could get our visa. And Wes was also still running the company back at home and his other companies. And then he was also working over here and then going through this whole lawsuit procedure over here.
Oh my goodness.
So we were both burning the candles at both ends, totally emotionally missing one another just because
you're so disconnected.
We're just so disconnected.
It's like you can be in the same room but be disconnected.
Yes.
Right.
He said to me, like, I feel alone. I'm like, I feel alone.
Yeah. And it happens, especially when you have kids and you're running a business and I know exactly what you're talking about, but you're in the same room and you're like, wait a minute, how can I feel alone? But it's the separation when you're so busy and overwhelmed. I don't think God ever wants us to be in that space. I know it happens at times, but it's important to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And realize, like it's like that whole patience thing, right? Like, you just have to like continue to move and keep going. Yeah. But make time for each other, make time for your family, make time for God. Because that's really what matters. I mean,
yeah, you who I chose, like the kids will leave one day, but it's you and me.
Yep.
So that was super difficult. We learned a lot about ourselves, about each other there, and that we had to now walk a new road. And all along, the visa and green card process has been like another job. So like there is so much involved in it that apart from doing everything we were doing, this was like another job.
Yeah.
This required a lot of effort.
So for people, I'm sorry, I just want to ask this question. For people that are coming into the United States,
Yeah.
everything's changed.
Yes.
Okay. So there's different ways you can come. Obviously,
Yes.
there's illegally.
Yes.
Which a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But if you do it legally, what are some of the options, and why did you choose the skilled route?
So there's a couple of options. You've got your L1 visa option, which is like businesses that are set up in other countries can establish themselves in the US, already be established in the US, and it can be a director, a manager coming to run the business here, but it would need the business somewhere else to be running.
Okay.
That's an L1 visa. I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on my exact facts. So that we looked at the L1 visa at a time and we investigated that. The one we applied for was the O1 visa, which is a skilled person's visa. There are a couple of boxes you need to tick. I think there's like 7 or 8 boxes to tick, and you've got to tick a certain number of them to qualify for that. And you need to have a job for that one. So you need to have a sponsoring employer, which I did have, and you need to work within the same field. You need to command a high salary. You need to have certain qualifications and all of those things. So with our immigration attorney, we worked on that being plan 1. So it's to get a visa, and we've got to be legal. It's big on us to be legal all the time that we're here. We never want to do the wrong thing.
Right.
So plan 1 is to be here legal, and that will be on a visa, but that will require that one of us have to work. And I would, like I said, I had a beautiful relationship with this other guy, and he'd sponsored me and they'd sourced me and everything. And I was a right fit for the business at the time. I think I did some good work over there while I was there, but it was a lot of work. I was super blessed to be there. They looked after me really well. My working hours were wonderful. They were just a really good crowd to be with. So it was good. It was just taxing on me. Like, I've changed countries. I still have other companies. School here and sports here requires a lot that we're not familiar with as South Africans. So we did that. And then our next route was that once the visas were secure, we could apply for a green card. Now, you have different green card categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They EB 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the 5 is an investment visa. And EB3 is a pretty much a skilled person's visa. Like, most people can come in on those, but you need a sponsoring employer. And then you've got the 2, which is like the person with skilled abilities, and then the E is a person with exceptional abilities. Now, for the 2, you need a sponsor again, and we obviously wanted to take that pressure off of ourselves. So the EB1 route is you can do a waiver, and you can sponsor yourself if you tick enough of the right criteria. So if you do this and you've got everything you need, then you can sort of sponsor yourself.
Okay.
Because you're an asset to pretty much the country. So we went in for that one. And, like, when you're on the visa, your visa lasts 3 years. You've got to work. Like, how long can we burn the candle at both ends and be separate from each other? And even though, like, I was super looked after at the firm where I was, I still had responsibilities to my family. I missed the first summer with the girls. And I mean, Wesley allowed me to join his company back in the day, so I would be able to spend time with the girls and, sort of decide my hours. And I was missing a lot of stuff with the girls, like going to the school. They did allow me to do a lot, but I felt super obligated to them for sponsoring my visa. And I'm a person who wants to give 100% all the time. So I did carry that weight on me. And I wake up very early in the morning as it is, but I was waking up at 3:30 to work in South Africa because they're 8 hours ahead. And then I was getting the kids up and I was getting dressed for proper work. And then I was dropping the girls off at school. And then I was going to the office and I was coming back and I was picking back up work for South Africa that they could start. And then we were doing sports, and it was just
too much.
It was a lot. And we put our visa application, green card applications in. And that was another process on its own, because now you have more boxes to tick than you did before. The applications are pretty much the same between the 2, but because you're going to self-sponsor, there was more. And one thing I am super aware of now, I didn't know then, is that these visas are very expensive. Your legal fees are astronomical. Like, you've got medicals to do, those are quite pricey. You've got to have vaccines up to date if you want to come in. It's a process. And as long as the attorneys are amazing. My attorneys, I would recommend them to anybody. They were amazing. Being the compliance professional I am, I know what I need to do to tick certain boxes and put a portfolio of evidence together. I mean, that's our business. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So I'm super blessed. Like my heart goes out to those who don't have those skills because they would struggle with it more.
Yeah.
So we put our applications in. From what I gather, the first step is they approve a green card for you. So they first see if there is green cards available. They apply for a green card. Then that's the process, I understand, where they check everything and all your information and your documents. And then they check if the green card is available. And if there's one available, they'll approve your application. And then you actually go into the process where you start putting other documents together and you start doing your medical and your biometrics and interviews where required and all of that. And you start going through this process. And once you've submitted those medicals at the end, that's when the process really starts. And then they call you for biometrics and everything else. And then it's a waiting process. And what weighed on my heart really was not what it cost. Like I said, we were super blessed. So happy that we came when we did because we were in enough place not to worry about what it cost to be here. Mm-hmm. It was more the life lessons that were more expensive than the visa fees and the green card fees. And I would pray every morning, like, Lord, let us have a green card by the end of December. Let us start January with a green card. And I was dictating my timeline.
Yeah. As you said earlier, God laughs when we make our plans.
100%. And, I was really, really struggling and the cracks were starting to show. And Wesley said to me, where did Princess Poppy go? Princess Poppy's not here anymore. Where is she? And I'm like, I'm so stressed. I'm so worn thin. There's very little of me left. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to work. And he was just, he's my best friend. He's got it. And I kept praying for my timeline. And then one morning on the way, I was praying and I just felt God say, why are you so scared? Why are you scared? It's my time, not your time. When did you become scared? And I just had to deal with the fact I got home and I was like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared that we've done this to our family and that it doesn't work out and we have to go home. I'm scared that I've spent less time with you. I'm scared that we have to go back to South Africa. Well, I don't want to do that. My kids are living the life. Mm-hmm. They're free. They go to the park. They ride scooters around the block. They go to sport. They're shining. The school has been so phenomenal. There's been 2 teachers that have stood out above all the rest there. They've bent over backwards for my girls. And they've just I don't want to leave this. Mm-hmm. I love this.
Right.
And there was just that stress. And God was like, but I didn't give you a spirit of fear. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh. And that's when I stopped praying for my December timeline.
You stopped?
I stopped. Mm-hmm. And December came and went and nothing happened. And January came and went and nothing happened. And on the 17th of February, I woke up to an email from the USCIS saying there's been changes made to my, I think it's a profile or something. So I jumped out of bed. Wesley's where are you going? I'm I got an email. And he was like, well, you have emails all the time. Sort of what you do. And I was like, I'm coming. And I ran down the stairs and I checked my email and I logged onto my profile and it said my green card was approved. So I logged onto Wesley's green card and it wasn't approved yet. And I was like, oh no.
Well, I know I'm here.
Oh no. Yeah, I know I'm here, but oh no. I don't want to be away from you again. I love you. Yeah. And straight away, email straight out to the attorneys. I'm like, I want to see who's faster, you or me. Every time I find notice, I let them know that I know. I'm not waiting for you to tell me and bill me. I know before you know.
Yeah.
Email them. They're like, okay, what will generally happen is, and we talk to ChatGPT all the time.
Yeah, yes.
Chat said to me that generally the family who are the dependents of the main applicant, their green cards get approved a couple of days later. And the attorney then confirmed what Chat had said and let me know that this process should happen in the next couple of days. A couple of days later, Wesley's like, I got an email from the USCIS and logged on and checked and his green card was approved. So that means the family's application was approved. We have had a hiccup with my oldest daughter's green card. they required that she had received 2 more vaccinations and that she had to just have a medical redone. So we've gone through that process. That was also not just a once-off, that was a 2-off, and the CDC schedule changed again on the 1st, and there was another vaccination, and we've done everything we've had to do. So we're just waiting for her to receive hers now. So I'm not praying for when.
Yes.
But it would be great if
it was soon.
It happens soon, just so she...
Just check that box
yeah,
off.
and that she feels a little bit safer. She feels super neglected and left out at this stage.
Yeah.
But she does live in a world of her own, so she is okay.
Yeah.
So it would just be cool to know that everything's done and dusted and just have all the paperwork in hand. While you are in green card process, they do advise that you don't leave the country because you could have trouble coming back in. You can apply for a travel permit. That, from what I understand, that does take some time. And in that time applying for the permit and paying the money, you could get a green card.
Yeah.
So save yourself and maybe just wait and don't travel.
Yeah.
So we elected to do that. I got my green card, obviously. I got to go back home and visit some clients now in May.
How was that?
So I made the long journey back to South Africa by myself. So
look at you.
Yeah, I was feeling like a big girl about it. And then like a couple of days before I was due to leave, I also just had a little cry. And Wesley's like, you're up and you're down like a yo-yo. He's so logical.
Oh, yeah.
He's so Prince Charming, but in a serious
that's so
way.
Women, though. Women are definitely up and down.
He's like, you planned this whole thing. Like you were gonna do this. I'm like, I am still gonna do it, but I'm scared now. And I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's scary. I would think, one, you are leaving your kids and your husband. Just that in and of itself would make you have a little bit of hesitation, right? I mean, you're the mom. But then you have like the life that you left and the way that you had to leave. I mean, you didn't have to leave, but you knew God was calling you here. And it was under the pretense that, holy cow, like, someone came into your house and was able to get past your security and all of that's afraid, and the last time, like right before you left, you had this whole moment of fear. So there's a lot playing here.
Exactly. And like, now I'm going without my fearless protector. Wesley is my fearless protector. That man loves me so fearlessly. Like, I can count on that. Like, you're never going to hurt me as long as he's around. And now I've chosen to go back without him. So had a little moment of trepidation. It did pass at least, and off I went. I was a Stanley mule. Everybody in South Africa wanted me to bring Stanleys. Stanley mugs.
Oh, Stanleys.
Yeah, so South Africa does have them, but they don't have the same variety that they do here.
Yeah, okay.
So there was lots of things people wanted me to bring. They wanted me to bring lots of snacks and food and, like real American stuff. Yeah. I had a whole suitcase for that. I was so excited to taste South African food again. I wanted to see my grandfather while I was there, but unfortunately he lived about 3 hours away from where I was staying, and my calendar was so fully booked with clients, I had no time to see any family, like 0 time. So I was literally working. I think I got a dinner in with my niece and her mom and spent like a couple of hours with them. And in between meetings, I saw one of my friends that was in between 2 offices. I had to be there, so I got some time with her, no more than an hour. So I did have my cup full that way with them, but I was back to back with meetings. It was so beautiful to see my old clients and just catch up with them and roll out a new plan that I had created in the company and start executing on that and have Wesley support, like, the girls are here with him, everything's going to be okay, he's got this, like, he's got the support of the people here, friends we've made, that if he needs anything, the moms at school will take care of him, like, everything will be fine. The teachers have got the girls, like, it's going to be great. America's been so good to us.
Oh, are you glad you're here?
I'm so glad I'm here. Wesley always jokes, he's like, you get immigration amnesia and then you forget why you left because you get homesick and then you forget. And then, what my other best friend stays in the UK and they also immigrated. All my best friends have immigrated. We've all had to leave South Africa due to all these different things. So she said to me, you need to stop calling it home. Home is where you live now. Yeah. That's home. Where you're going to is just South Africa.
Yeah.
Home is Texas.
Yeah.
So I had to make that mind shift of stop calling him. I'm going home, because I'm not going home. I'm going to South Africa.
Right.
And went there, was super busy. Like, I don't think I watched TV. I don't think I had a second of me time, because you guys are 8 hours behind. So I was talking to Wesley at night when I should have been sleeping, Wesley and the girls. And then working, doing admin, as like catching up on my admin, because I'm now on the road where normally I get to do my work at my pace and my audits and my verifications at my pace. And now I'm back in front of the clients, advising and everything, saying hi and just building those relationships, and everything's just going super fast again. Like, it's moving. Like, the office has also moved, and we wanted to go make sure the team had made the right decisions in the choices they'd made where to move offices to, because that's big on us, that everyone remains happy, because that is something super big to Wesley. He's always said, like, his idea for the company is that when we go out with the staff, waiting staff at a restaurant must never know who the boss is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody must be thriving and doing so well that everyone's prepared to pay for everybody's meal, because we must all be doing that well.
Oh, wow.
So he wants a table that everybody eats at.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we're going to go check that notion still exists.
Uh-huh.
And I got to spend some time with the younger team, got to cry a lot with them, like, listening to my stories, listening to their stories. They were like, wow, 2024 was, at least it was near the end of the year when Wes left, so they made it through there. But then 2025 was a really hard year for them, because where they had us for everything, they didn't have us. They had to wait for us to wake up. Like, there was a lot. I mean, I was waking up. Most people wake up, you make yourself a cup of coffee and you ease into your morning. We would wake up with bombs dropped on us. Like, oh no, the roof is on fire here. Oh no, this client wants this. We don't know what to do. Oh no, this is happening in the office. Like, so we don't get to wake up peacefully. We wake up with
bombs,
a million emails, a day that's already in full swing, and it's going. So just got to spend some time with the team as well, and just realign with them, and just super proud of all of them.
Yeah, that's
amazing. They've grown, they've matured. The clients, like, I obviously sit at an executive level, so I get to meet with other executives and CEOs. Sometimes the other staff aren't privy to that, and they've all only had to say good things about our team.
Oh, I'm sure.
They have said wonderful things, which makes us feel secure, like we did the right thing. Dean has grown into such a beautiful man and leader for the company. It's just been beautiful. Like, he had a cry as well, and it was like, it was tough when you guys were gone, and I struggled and whatever. And he had a second child in between all of that. His wife had landed up in hospital during that time. She'd come to join the team as well. We'd moved teams around, which we weren't sure about. I was like, I don't know if I want to work with that girl. That girl's not sure if she wants to work with me. We're not sure if Sandra's going to work in that position. Like, teams are being shifted. We don't know if what we're doing is right. And it got to the point where all the decisions we made and the chess game we've played has paid off.
Oh, wow.
Everybody is where they need to be. Everybody is thriving. Everybody is succeeding. Everybody is growing. Careers are being shaped.
Yeah, it's a God thing.
It's a God thing. Like, we've always put God first.
Yeah.
And it's really showing.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. I mean, your story is just, it's like your run, the run that you had, where you were kind of like in it, and then you had different moments of like, can I continue to do this? And then
I can.
Yeah, and then you would help people through their pain point, and then you would keep running, and then you got to a place where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, like your trip here with your girls, and you're like, no, I can. You had two people that stood beside you and ran with you to the end. And I just think that there's so many turns in life, and there's so many opportunities. And as I mentioned earlier, I think there's angels among us, and I think they are in human form a lot. And God's using these people just like He used you to help other people. But that's what the community, and that's what we're supposed to embody as Christ followers, is to lift people up in the times that they need that, right? And because you never know when yours is going to be. Yeah. And so you're amazing. Your story is amazing. I know that there are people that are in a position. I mean, you've mentioned that being in South Africa, there's a lot of your closest friends have left.
Yeah.
There are people that are in a situation similar to you.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
One, you should probably do it when you're a lot younger because you have a little more energy in you and you could bounce a lot faster. I would say definitely do it the right way to start off with. Like, that's very important. The times are hard, but when I say hard, we haven't had a terribly hard journey when I compare our journey to other people. Like, we've had moments where we've learned lessons, but they've only been that. They haven't been struggles. Like, you've got to get your stuff together. You've got to get your paperwork together. You've got to be prepared for that process and the length of that process. And you've really got to have your paperwork in order. That's very important wherever you go. You've got to make sure you can financially afford it. And
what would be like when you say, I mean, maybe not to the degree like you guys in your finances, but like just what is like an average to leave a country to come? I mean, I have no idea.
So you'd obviously have to pay your flights and everything, but your attorney fees, you're looking at about 50,000 plus. So
it's an attorney fees.
Yeah. So I'm sure you could go find cheaper attorneys, and we were told to interview attorneys, and we did. Mm-hmm. And we found the right one. Charla and Lacey have been amazing people throughout this process. They've been very honest. They haven't sold us anything. In fact, they only charged us a retainer after like months of talking when we were ready to file paperwork. That's the first time they asked for a retainer. They'd given us tons of free advice, tons of free conversations, and that. There is a lot of money you do need to put down. You can bootstrap it all the way. We know people who have bootstrapped it and made it and made a success of it. We would have bootstrapped it to a certain extent and spent a lot of the money on the visa process the first time we would have come. Yeah. But because we've been able to grow and financially secure ourselves differently and afford businesses here, because Wesley's bought a couple of other businesses since we've been here. So we are financially blessed that way. But you've got to do it. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to commit to the jump, and you've got to make it work. Like, that's super important.
Are you glad you said yes to?
I'm glad I said yes. When I got home, I did find myself in a state of some type of fear at some stage, because you've got to switch it back on again, that like fight or flight and survival mode. But when I found myself coming into DFW and seeing all the American flags flying out of the airplane's window, I was like, that's home. I was like, America. Yeah. I was like, I'm home. This is home.
Yeah. Freedom.
It was everything. It's
independence.
It's been worth. People here are so blessed, and I find that in some instances, American people take that for granted.
Absolutely.
They're so blinded by the political landscape that they don't get to see the liberties and the freedoms that were fought for them to be here in the first place.
Right.
And that this is a beautiful place to be, and it needs to be looked after. It needs to be appreciated. Everybody wants the American dream. The whole world wants what you guys have. Yeah. And it is beautiful, like having the kids play softball in the park and play volleyball and soccer and have the school take care of a lot of the kids' needs. And it's phenomenal. Like, in South Africa, kids don't get to go to school for free. So like, for kids to go to school for free here, it's amazing to get help at the schools for the kids and their learning needs or whatever. And have the school do that for you is just amazing.
Yeah.
So having walked a journey, like, we've met so many beautiful American people. I think we joke, our first month when Wesley got here, we didn't have to buy food because every night somebody else invited us over for dinner. I've heard people say they battle to make friends when they get here. They're really struggling to connect with people. I can't say that's been our experience. We have met phenomenal people everywhere we went. I've got to meet you.
I know, I'm so glad.
That's been one of the best friendships of my life.
Oh, you're so sweet. So, ditto.
That is amazing. We've got a community we can rely on, a network we can rely on. The girls made friends very easily. They got to join sports. They assimilated easily. Like, people have just been amazing. We've got an EO network, obviously, that we're part of. That is just phenomenal for networking. The people are amazing. And like, everywhere you go, there's some good people, there's some crappy people.
Yeah, that's just life.
Yeah. That's life. Like, you can't change that. But we've been nothing but blessed since we've been here.
Well, that's amazing. Well, I think that, obviously your story, I mean, I love your story. I love that you always point back to God in your story, and the decisions, the waiting, the patience that you've learned, the just every step of the way has just been a journey of prayer, of discernment from God, providing the right time, the right way, and you give credit back to Him. I love that. And, I just think of like the verse, Jeremiah 29:11. I know you love this verse, which is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future." And I think that sums up like your story so well, because He has been leading that path for you. What's next for you?
Oh my goodness. So you talk about Jeremiah 29 verse 11. The girls are actually wearing necklaces with that Bible verse on at the moment. It's so important to us. What's next? To grow the business, to decide where we actually want to grow roots. We're renting a house right now. We want to obviously make home somewhere. My goal is to see all 50 states. Mm-hmm. So
I do too. I want to do that.
Yeah. We've been doing that. We've seen so many beautiful places so far. We've taken up some new hobbies. We've got to see so many states. Each state obviously having its own special thing and unique thing. LJ loves Colorado. She's a mountain child.
I love Colorado.
She when we drove into Colorado the first time and we road trip down there, she was like, "When can we move here?" So I think she might leave me for Colorado one day.
Yes.
But want to go see all 50 states, like want to make it up to Oregon and Alaska, see those things definitely. So Wesley's always wanted to go to Maine. So those are ones we want to tick off our bucket list, but definitely make a difference in the lives around us. Just, there's that Josiah Queen song, like be a flower in Manhattan or garden in Manhattan. That's super important to me, like trying to teach the girls that a lot too. Like you really have to be that flower in the concrete for other people. Like you must be a blessing unto everyone's lives that you come into contact with. Not everybody is good for you, and you can't be good for everybody either. So that's important as well. But you need to leave things better than you found them.
Yep.
Obviously, we want to grow a business where we don't just want to now be multi-million US dollar heirs. We want to be multi-billion dollar US heirs. So the goals keep growing. We're going to keep building businesses. Wesley loves shopping for business. I like shoes. He likes businesses. So definitely grow out there some more, and just live the life that God has given us. Like, I don't believe we should come here and not live a life that God wanted us to live. He brought us here, so we must get involved in the community. The kids must get involved in sport. We didn't come here to lock ourselves up behind four walls like we had to at home.
Right.
So we must come here and live to the fullest and be the example for our kids and touch all of those lives. And
others, like you're an example for others.
100%. So that's the plan. Got to get the girls to middle school. They've graduated now from elementary. So that was the first for us. So navigating the school system as well is different for me because I have no idea what's happening. But like I said, we've got great supports in that.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode, Dallas, the podcast with Tash. I am so thankful. It's been so fun. I love hearing your story. You are super inspiring. And
thank you for having me.